Welcome into Sportstime. Bryant and Brett with you. Landon Schmidt producing. We're with you for the next 3 hours. And so much to get into over these next 3 hours as college football officially back. Week 1 is here. Brett, we have a game starting in an hour and a half down in Tampa, Boise State, and South Florida. So we'll talk a lot of college football today. We got to get into some wins and losses. We'll also talk a little basketball when Keith Smith joins us later in the show. So a little bit of everything that we have to discuss, but it will be a lot of college football this afternoon. But Brett, how are you today?
I'm doing very well, Brian. This is no game week. This is game day.
That's right. About to be game hour. I mean, we were there.
Get the eye black roller
That's
out.
That's right. Oh, man, should have warned you. Should have told me. We could have all worn eye black today. I mean,
Did you ever wear eye black?
No, I was not an eye black guy. Landon, were you an eye black guy? Maybe.
Do what?
Were you an eye black guy?
Did you ever roll it on eye black under?
Get the eye black on?
No, I just had my wrist taped with my Bible verse on the inside.
Hey,
Very nice.
I like that. That's
very nice.
Good. Yeah, no, I wasn't.
No. When you only play 2 plays high school football like I did,
Well,
there was no need for eye black.
I guess not. But no, it's fun that it's here, and it's fun that we're gonna get.
I had my
some
mouthpiece
action.
in though on the sideline, just in case.
There you go.
Could get rough over on the sideline.
Heck, now
at Sam Smith Stadium.
Brett, nowadays we talked about the knee pads and all that stuff. I mean, nowadays you'll watch receivers run down the field; they don't have their mouthpiece anywhere near their mouth. So I mean,
I wonder what the percentage is that it just dangles the whole game.
I would say it's probably pretty high. It's a lot of guys that just let it hang out there.
All I can tell them, 4 hours in that dental chair, you'll have that mouthpiece in next time.
Yeah, I'll be wearing that mouthpiece. But yeah, it's officially here, Brett. And I've been trying to decide all day what I want to bet on the game. I mean,
decide if or what?
No, what? No.
Oh yeah,
please.
Yeah.
That's not even. I don't even know that word in my dictionary.
Right, we can take it for an hour and a half, can't we? We've waited all this big old hot summer to get to hour. I can take. I think I can take anything for an hour and a half, except for the 2 biggest things I'm scared of. Okay. I can take anything except for pain and temptation. So.
Well, those are 2 pretty big categories. That
covers it about all of it.
I guess so. That covers a lot. But yeah, I think after all the time we've waited for college football and getting that appetizer, getting that little teaser last week with week 0. I think we can make it in the next hour and a half. Now, hour 27 minutes, but who's keeping count to see this game? I
don't know the MapQuest route, but I would imagine if you drove from Boise to Tampa to go to the South Florida game as a Boise partisan, Memphis might be in your route, shouldn't it?
Yeah. I would think so. Let's see. I can tell you, Brett. I can use this handy dandy phone that I've got here.
I just hope some. Now, they would already be there. Of course, they're not driving through now. For me to say anything insulting about the most arrogant fan base in all of college sports, Boise State. But at some point this week, I know I got a shot in, and I hope they heard it on the way.
Yeah, so it does not look like you would drive through, at least what I'm getting. It looks like you either drive through Nashville or you drive down through.
Damn Nashville. They got
Texas
it all, don't they? They even got a route to Tampa.
That's exactly right. But yeah, the 2 routes that pop up for me, if I was to drive from Boise to Tampa, neither go through Memphis. So I'm afraid, unless someone wanted to make a pit stop, a Boise State fan wanted to make a pit stop in Memphis, I'm afraid they're not driving through here.
Well, I hope they have a long drive home. Well, they got a long drive home even if they win.
2,700 miles worth of driving.
No, thank you.
It's a lot of driving. 1 day and 13 hours it would take you to drive from Boise to.
But I'm looking forward to it and pulling hard for South Florida.
Yeah, we've talked about it. This is a big game. If you're the Tigers and you think this Tiger team can make it to the college football playoff, then yeah, you're definitely wanting to see Boise State take a couple losses, and a loss here against South Florida would be big, not only for the American Conference, but it would be huge for the Tigers to have that other team that a lot of people, very popular Boise State is in terms of that Group of 5 representative, having them getting scratched up in week 1, that would be really big.
All right, something I don't know. I wonder if you have the American tiebreakers at the ready. Do you have them on the tip of your tongue?
I do not have the American tiebreakers handy, unfortunately.
Well, we're going to pick Tulane and UAB at about 3:45, and that'll leave us only picking the Memphis Tigers. And I just wonder, so we know first place, if you're 7-1 in the league and you have two at 6-2, we know 7-1 would host.
Yeah.
What if you have 6-2 and they didn't play? I'm going to have to read up on my American tie-breaking lingo because mine could come into play.
Yeah, no, it really could. I'm not well versed on the American tiebreakers, so I'll leave that to you. But
Thank you.
when you figure it out, you let me know. All right?
That'll be reading and studies. I can't wait to.
Oh man, I know.
dive in.
I know the one thing that you're looking forward to is figuring out American conference tiebreakers.
After that SEC basketball tiebreaker in the
geez.
spring for the seeding, that was the goofiest stuff ever.
Brett, I'm still trying to figure it out. I really still
Ole
don't
Miss
understand.
beats Kentucky regular season, but loses a tiebreaker to them.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand it. I still don't, and hopefully we don't have to worry about that again this year in SEC basketball. Because I lost a couple hours of sleep trying to figure out how that all worked out. But that is,
What would be the equivalent, Bryant, of bracket domination? 14 in basketball last spring. How many for the SEC and the college football playoff would that equal it, top it?
I would say, I don't know, what, like five or six? You know, I mean,
Half, sure.
yeah, I was about to
sure
say
would be
six
getting
feels
close,
like
wouldn't
it feels. I mean, six feels like it's over. If you're half the bracket, I mean, that feels like it's the same, if not more.
No way for six,
No,
is it?
no. So I think,
But last year, 3 plays from 6.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
And I'm not talking crazy stuff.
No, not at all. So yeah, I'd say probably 5 feels like you're getting pretty close to what basketball did last year. 6, I think, certainly is what, if not more, of what basketball did.
Boise State is the heavily predicted group of 5 team, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I think if you went through and compiled all of the national predictions out there, I think Boise State would be overwhelming. That's a good question. I've seen a lot of Tulanes out there. It feels like a lot of people like Tulane.
I do, but not to be in the playoff.
Yeah, but I think they're going to have a really good season. It probably, I would say maybe Tulane's probably second most. Maybe, it feels like for a little bit.
And I
of time
wonder how many different, from anything resembling credible pickers. I wonder how many different teams. If it's not going to be Boise, and it's not even the second one, then how many? I would guess 15 or 20.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Unfortunately, I
12
think,
to 15. 12
Sure.
to 15 easy.
But I think, unfortunately, if you did kind of compile all of the national, college football playoff brackets, unfortunately, I think it'd be probably mostly Boise State and then just a couple of other teams, because I don't think people, and I can't really blame them, I don't think people put too much time in when they're doing their bracket trying to figure out who do I really think can be that group of 5 team, because they just take too much time and everyone's focused on those power conferences and those power teams. I can't blame them at all, and so I think it's one of those things where we talk about a lot with these way too early top 25s, where it feels like one person puts their way too early top 25 out there, and then everyone else kind of uses that one and changes one or two things about it. Kind of feels like that's how it is with the group of 5, is a couple people go out there and say, Boise State's going to be really good again next year, and everyone goes, oh, okay, well, that person knows what they're talking about, so we'll just put Boise State as our group of 5 representative. And
even with my insults at them, they've earned that, haven't they?
No, they're very great history, a very talented team. They absolutely deserve
largely
getting there.
responsible for maybe kicking down that door to have that designated spot.
Absolutely. I mean, they were Boise State's been a trailblazer for kind of that mid-major group of 5 team.
UCF, Cincinnati certainly helped.
Absolutely.
Way back, Brian, I talked the other day about East Carolina, Steve Logan not walking through that door. East Carolina, they were kind of in that group. Then Utah, and look what it got Utah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I mean,
one breaking story right now as we come on. Are you seeing the Jay Wright story?
no, not at all.
Jay Wright stepping away from from full-time broadcasting duties at CBS.
Really?
I'll read the statement. After 3 amazing years of CBS Sports and TNT Sports, I've decided to step back from full-time broadcasting. It wasn't an easy call, but it allows me to focus on my role as special assistant to the president at Villanova and to spend quality time with my family. Huge thanks to CBS and TNT. They're truly the best in the business. Grateful for the incredible experiences and relationships and friendships. I look forward to staying connected and collaborating with them on future projects.
Wow.
I hope first of all, I hope it's not anything close to health.
Yeah, absolutely.
And second, I hope it's not budget.
Yeah, no,
with CBS.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I now, as you read that statement, I also pulled up the statement, and yeah, I mean, I hope it's not anything health related. You certainly would hate to see that. But I mean, everything I've heard, and I certainly don't know Jay Wright. I don't know anybody that knows Jay Wright, but just based on what people say and how people talk about him in that role, sounded like he loved being a part of CBS and being at the desk and talking college basketball regularly. He was really good at it. I mean, super talented. And obviously, I think a lot of people thought he would be really good at it with how great of a coach he was. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that this really is just he wants to focus on other things and has obviously had a very successful career and wants to spend more time with his family. And this, I guess, role that he has with Villanova now, maybe it was a little more time-consuming than he thought it would be. But definitely hope it's not anything cost-related or health-related, and definitely not health-related because that would definitely be scary for Jay Wright.
And he had was he the prominent analyst role?
Oh,
was
yeah. He was huge with them. I mean, it felt like any big game that was on CBS, he was right there.
But Grant Hill and Bill Raftery also right there.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, he was. It felt like, I mean, just watching and seeing how they operated with him, it felt like he was going to be a staple and a huge part of CBS college basketball coverage moving forward. So that is really shocking, and I certainly believe when he says it was a very hard decision, I absolutely believe that based on how it seems like everyone talks about him and his love for doing that and just talking college basketball.
The official College Game Day site just tweeted out where they'll be set up in Columbus, same spot. If you've ever been or watched, they're in that spot by the old basketball arena, St. John Arena, and then there's Jesse Owens Plaza, and then the Horseshoe. It's a spot they're always in, and it wasn't very nice at the Michigan-Ohio State game. The treatment of Desmond Howard, and he'll probably get that even on Saturday.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I think it's a staple. Whenever he's anywhere near campus, there's a crowd of people there booing him and heckling him. So I'm sure he'll get that treatment Saturday morning, and it's gonna be a big show for College Game Day. Obviously, Lee Corso and his send off, and so I'm sure a lot of people will be watching. And Big Noon's gonna be there as well, doing their
They're
thing.
on the
and
other
on
end
the
of
other
the stadium,
side, right? And so no matter what pregame show you fancy, you'll be getting it from Columbus. I'm
going to have my Saturday morning. I can't wait to take in both. I'm going to have my TV in the back button to where it's either it's Kirk Herbstreit or Coach Saban or to Big Noon and Mark Ingram or Urban Meyer always talking. Anybody else talking, I'm changing.
Hitting that back button, yeah. You've gotten good with the back button, so you're a pro at that. But
I didn't know what it was on the on the thing for a long time.
Well, hey, you got a reason to use it, and now you're a pro at it. So that's how all good things start, right?
And the crowd, especially at almost now, they will move inside the stadium. That's the controversy with with the Barstool guy. I think he will be on the stage outside, but not actually go inside the Horseshoe on the stage. Whatever.
And at that point, everyone's so fired up for games to get started. I mean, it's sorry for him, I guess, but that has been a big news.
Who would you rather hang out with on Friday night, McAfee or Barstool guy?
McAfee by a million times.
Me too.
McAfee feels like he would be really fun to hang out with.
Honestly, and I know, again, I'm in a distinct minority. I don't mind. Before anybody texts how much he makes, I know how much Portnoy makes. I know he could buy and sell. I know all those things. He can buy and sell me. I know all those things. I've never consumed a single solitary second of him.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about him. I've
Not
seen a
one.
little bit of his stuff, but yeah, I mean,
I would be a McAfee expert compared to.
well, I believe honestly, Brett. I
Honestly, what is
completely-
Portnoy's first name?
Dave.
Dave.
Yes.
Because there's a sports writer named Ben, right?
I think so.
Ben
I think
Portnoy.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is right. So yeah, but I'm curious to see how he does in this role, and how they use him on Big Noon. But you're right, he won't be in the stadium when they move. But I am curious to see both.
For somebody just figuring out the back button, I'm sure it comes as no shocker that I'm not a Barstool
Brett,
expert.
Anything that is a more digital media, online, internet type
Mouthy.
of thing. Yeah, we very so that doesn't. All of those things combined, Brett, doesn't surprise me.
Crude, rude.
Yes, all of those things. All that.
That's not my appetite.
No, it is. I know that's. I know that for a fact. So I'm not surprised that you aren't too familiar with.
I mean, a guy that a fancy meal is a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
So. That's me.
This is really they are trying to use him in the McAfee
I don't blame
role.
him.
It's the exact same thing. He
Look,
has a
college
big
football
following.
they have me.
Oh, absolutely.
They got to get 25-year-olds.
Sure, and I think you're seeing a lot of people. I know I have friends that certainly don't watch Big Noon in the morning, and some that don't even watch game day in the morning. They just watch the games, and so I think. Portnoy, obviously a huge following at Barstool, and so
I understand it.
Get him on there and try to get more people watching Big Noon. So I'm excited to see both of them on Saturday morning. Well, we have a busy show today, so let me set it up before we get to top and not top story of the day. 3:30, we will talk some Ole Miss football. We'll do an Ole Miss Georgia State preview as that game on Saturday, and really. It's an Ole Miss Georgia State preview, but a lot of Tiger fans will be watching this game as well because Memphis will head down to Georgia State.
I get the official scouting report.
You get, and I'm really looking forward to Monday to hear all about.
You think Johnny could get it to Coach Silverfield from me?
Oh yeah, for sure. If you get it all written up, and I'm sure we could get it to Coach.
Of course, it will be in longhand.
No, I know. That's why I said write it up because I know it won't be typed up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
and in cursive.
Well, yeah. Well, at least I think Ryan Silverfield knows cursive. I don't know about it. How many young people are fluent in cursive? We will talk a lot of Ole Miss Georgia State in our next segment. 3:45. We'll get back to the W's and L's. UAB and Tulane. UAB they'll kick off their season later tonight against Alabama State. We'll go through our wins and losses for both those teams. 4 o'clock, Keith Smith from Spot Track and the Front Office Show. He'll join us. We'll talk NBA with him. 4:30, Pat Smith from Jocks down in Birmingham. He'll join us. We'll talk college football with him as we'll preview all the games in Week 1. 4:45, we get the big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Greg Gaston. He'll join us. We'll talk some Tigers with him. We'll preview the game against Chattanooga, what he'll be looking for in that matchup. 5:30, we'll get some more wins and losses. Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia will knock those 3 SEC teams out. And then at 5:45, we'll wrap up today's show like we always do with Moe's Crunch Time. Well, let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together, and Family Leisure needs your help to clear out the warehouse. All in-stock patio furniture up to 60% off, and 4-piece deep seating sets only $999. Chase Lounges, buy one, get one half off, and right now all Pollywood furniture 20 to 30% off. Get that outdoor dining table and receive a free umbrella with purchase. Don't forget about special financing. It's available, but only at Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
We are Sportstime. We're with you until 6 o'clock. We want you to be a part of our show by texting or calling 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. All our guests will appear on the Sissy's Log Cabin text line at 901-360-8255. Always from our Family Leisure Studios and always produced by Landon Schmidt. He's Brian. I'm Brett. We want you to be a part of our show from our Family Leisure Studios, and we thank them so much as we thank Lexus of Memphis so much for being the title and presenting sponsor of Hour 1 every day with us. They are at 2600 Ridgeway, and they're online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2025 models and always special leasing options. Call them at 901-334-9673, but they invite you to stop by the only Lexus dealership in Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway. And that's where you can put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2025 flagship LS 500, and you'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the safe luxury driving experience. Online at LexusOfMemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day is the football season is here. Week 1 gets kicked off tonight with a 17-game schedule, and we'll start here in just a little bit more than an hour when Boise State travels to Tampa to take on South Florida. That line has moved all over the place. At the beginning of this week, Boise State was about a 7-point favorite, now only a 5.5-point favorite on the road against South Florida. But that's not the only big game or the only game that we'll be paying attention to here in Memphis. East Carolina, a team that Memphis will go on the road and play later this season. They'll kick off their season on the road at 6 o'clock against NC State. That game on ACC Network. Later in the night, we've got some big ones, Nebraska and Cincinnati on ESPN. A lot of people looking at that. I mentioned UAB, another team from the American. They'll start their season later tonight against Alabama State. So 17 games tonight, a lot to watch for in the SEC. Missouri kicks off their season tonight as well against Central Arkansas. That game 6:30 on SEC Network. So a lot to watch tonight. If you're a fan of the SEC, if you're a fan of the Tigers, if you're just a fan of college football, it will be a lot of action to kick us off. It will continue into tomorrow. We obviously know what's coming on Saturday, so should be a lot of fun watching all these games tonight.
What's the latest of the last game tonight?
The latest of the last game, 9 o'clock, Stony Brook and San Diego State. 9 o'clock.
Right. Don't tell me.
I'll tell you what.
Will you watch it to all zeros?
Yeah, watch it. I might bet on it. I mean, good Lord.
Go Aztecs,
I'll
huh?
definitely be watching it. Yeah, absolutely.
Stony Brook. Stony Brook plays football.
Stony Brook plays football, Brett.
How about that?
Absolutely.
Learn something every day, don't we?
I guess so.
Back button, Stony Brook plays football.
How about that? I mean, what a day of learning.
It is. My top story, talking season's over. I never tire from talking season. I love it. I love the endlessness of the offseason of college football. From media days or 1st of August, camp opening, whatever demarcation you want. I love it. I love the talking of college football, and I would almost rather have that some years than I have the real season. We got to get to the real season, and we got to get to the playing season, and all the fan bases and all the different loyalties that we have in this area, all the melting pot that we represent. I love that we're around to playing season. The teams from this area, I think there's plenty to be excited about for everybody in this area. Pick something out. Historic for Arkansas and Arkansas State. That's next week. But it starts tonight. The scoreboard and on the field is where it really matters. That begins in full talking season. It's over.
Absolutely.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day, we get the drama just continuing down in Dallas with the Cowboys and Micah Parsons. It was put out there about 30 minutes ago or so over on ESPN that sources, Cowboys appear open to Micah Parsons trade offers, and it looks like it says in here, no trade is imminent, but another team could always be aggressive enough to make it come together quickly, per sources. Again, I'm going to stand by what I said earlier this week. I'm not worried about it. I still have my conspiracy hat on. I think that the deal's already done. I think that all of this, again, let's not forget, this comes after what? 2-3 weeks after Jerry Jones said publicly that he likes it when his team is on the front page of ESPN. He likes when there's drama with his team. I think that all of this is just noise to keep the Cowboys in the news. You go to ESPN. The first thing right now, we've got U.S. Open coverage. Then we'll have the Boise State and South Florida game. But I can guarantee you, Brett, tonight when SportsCenter starts up, the first or second story will be Micah Parsons. The Cowboys are open to trading him. It will lead SportsCenter all day tomorrow through all the shows. That'll be the first story that they're talking about on Get Up, on First Take, all the shows. So I still think this is all a part of the plan, but we're getting closer and closer to the season, and that could all change. But right now, I'm going to remain calm, And I think that a deal is still going to happen between Micah Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys.
I wouldn't panic if I were a Cowboy fan until about this time, next Thursday.
Sure, yeah. Again, yes. Flag the tape. A week from now, when we're previewing the Eagles and the Cowboys.
3:15 next Thursday.
Yeah, then I might be a nervous wreck. But right now, I'm
Actually,
fine.
3:25, yeah.
There
But
you go.
before then, not so much. My not top story, speaking of Cowboys, former Cowboy, Deion Sanders, he says pay a bonus to college football playoff participants. I love the idea of a
definitely.
bonus pool. I don't know that people realize this, but on almost every pro sport, football, basketball, baseball, NBA, Major League Baseball, the NFL, there's a players pool for in the playoffs. You get and some guys really need that piece of the pie. I think college football and NCAA tournament should absolutely be looking at that. Look at bowl time. It was great. It's kind of throwback. It's kind of like me learning about the back button. Nobody wants the gift bag. Nobody wants to watch. I've got a ton of watches. I love my watches. Nobody wants them but me. Nobody. Nobody cares about the bowl watches but me and the other memorabilia you get from bowl season. Those players want cash. I love the idea.
No, I like the idea. I think it's a good one. I think what he said in there.
OBJ kind of loved the idea a few years ago on the field for LSU.
He definitely
handed
did.
out cash.
I mean, hey, why not? You got it. Why not flex it? But yeah, I think when he was talking about that, he said, if you did that, if you had that kind of bonus put in there, it'd be equal. You pay all the guys for making it. You wouldn't have those arguments. I like this idea from Deion, and who would have thought a guy with all that NFL background, a guy that loved making money as a player, has some good ideas when it comes to paying college players.
I don't think people are, and I sure hope that they're not this naive. There's been bowl bonuses for a long time.
Oh, yeah, come on now. But we can't talk about that, Brett. We'll leave that in the past. But now that we've got rev share and all this, now we can talk about it a lot more. But,
I love that we can speak honestly and frankly about it.
Yeah, and now we're finally starting to get away from all the coaches kind of being scared to talk about NIL money and revenue share and all that stuff.
It's professional sports.
We're here, and it's something that you should go all in on if you're a coach. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's get to our first break, and when we return, we'll preview Ole Miss's first game against Georgia State. That's next on Sports Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Maria's Cantina in South Haven is not your average Tex-Mex joint because they're serving up Mexican with a twist. Maria's Scratch Kitchen is the most creative and diverse menu around. Beyond the traditional huge quesadillas, chimichangas, and fajitas, Maria serves up hand-rolled Latin egg rolls, Cajun and Creole items like catfish, gumbo, and boudin balls, as well as the best sandwiches and 8-ounce burgers in town. Wash it all down with a house margarita for only $5.50 and happy hour every day till 6. MariasCantina.com, 6717 Airways, Mexican with a twist. Here's what sets NST Law apart. They don't just work in Memphis, they ride for Memphis. From school fundraisers to courtroom battles, they show up where it matters. And when someone in this city gets hurt, NST goes toe-to-toe with insurance giants. No fear, no favors. It's not just the law to them, it's loyalty. And if you ever need backup after a crash, NST's got your back. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000 or check out nstlaw.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Lucky Larry's Landscaping, Larry! Larry saved his business money with a quick commercial auto quote from Progressive. Does it help he's his own marketing manager, accountant, executive assistant, and never been late? Technically, yes, but saving really put him over the edge. So, Larry, give Larry a round of applause. Be your own Larry. See if you could save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get travel ready in your new Mitsubishi from Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, car and driver's best. Buy for $16,425, gets 39 MPG. 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander, we Gossett, $31,105 or $399 per month. More head and leg room plus longer warranty and lower price than Toyota RAV4. 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV plug-in hybrid. Combined range 420 miles, better warranty, more electric range on full charge than a Toyota RAV4. Outlander PHEV, $39,115 or sign and drive for $396 a month. Plus peace of mind with 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Outlander SU 32343, MSRP 36105, PHEV SC 00816, MSRP 42615, Mirage RHO 378,839, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's going pretty good through the Midtown area. Pretty much on schedule. 240 South and South Parkway. We got a couple of crashes out here the last few minutes. Also dealing with some rain, mostly south of Memphis over the last 30-45 minutes. Be careful on 55 as you work your way down through parts of DeSoto County, all the way down into Tate County. Get lots of rain on the radar. Hey, make a difference by adopting a pet at the Humane Society of Memphis, Shelby County. They've got animals that they're up for adoption. Check out the website at memphishumane.org. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got to start previewing this weekend. We got to preview Ole Miss and Georgia State. Brett, we talked yesterday about how hard it is to find game notes for some of these teams. Did you ever find game notes for Georgia State anywhere?
I did through the Ole Miss page.
That's where I finally found it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I went to Georgia State. I went to
It's
I
quite
went
a
to
mystery.
3 or 4 places trying to just find it from Georgia State, and then finally I go, well, maybe Ole Miss has posted them too. And so I finally, on my fourth try, went, but still, even there, their game notes didn't have a depth chart on there or anything. So I mean, game notes are becoming really, really weird.
They have it. I don't know why, but they have. I know we gotta dedicate all resources to the TikTok account.
That's right. Yeah, get that out there.
But first meeting ever for Ole Miss and Georgia State, Bryant, for me, in Georgia State in the Sun Belt, FBS opponent. This year, 136 teams playing in FBS football. This will be my 92nd different FBS opponent. I'll get number 93 against Washington State.
That's right. Yeah. So wow, you're checking a couple off this season. I love it.
Getting a couple knocked off this year. Ole Miss all-time 96 and 29-5. That's 758 winning percentage in season openers. Won 23 of the last 28. When I saw the future contract in a game with Jacksonville State, I remember that one well in 2010. Everybody in the Ole Miss world kind of still smarting a little bit from opening day 2010 and losing that game. And they were FCS then, Jacksonville State was. But 27-3 in the last 30 at home for Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin has really made home field a big advantage. Had to stumble last year against Kentucky, but has made it a tough place to play. It's going to be a lot of new as college football. We've always had new with the seniors moving on. Now we have a lot of new in with the players with the portal, and new quarterback at Ole Miss and Austin Simmons taking over for Jackson Dart. And for me, looking out there and seeing old familiar number 2 in the Lane Kiffin years with Matt Corral and Jackson Dart, it's going to be different to look out there and see a different quarterback. Number 13, Austin Simmons. The last lefty quarterback at Ole Miss was Brent Schaefer. We had a lefty number 13 in the 90s, Paul Head, and back to the 70s in Bobby Garner. If anybody else has got another lefty that started, I know there's some backups at Ole Miss. I need it before Saturday because I've had everybody just racking their brains trying to come up with left-handed starting quarterbacks in Ole Miss history. But it's going to be fun to see Austin Simmons out there. Last year he got some run in bigger wins and in the key portion, the early part of the Georgia game. He's been in the program 2 full years, and 2 years ago he wouldn't have blown a red shirt with it, but he was getting loose to go in when Jackson Dart got hurt early in the Penn State game. Yeah. He was going to go in at quarterback, not Walker Howard. I mean, it was that quick get loose, like a baseball pitcher, like he was. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. I don't think you'll see a lot of run option from him this week, and hopefully not even next week, trying to hold that back as long as Ole Miss can. But under Lane Kiffin, having the seasons he had last year, 10-3, 2 years ago 11-2, and he's going for a third straight double-digit win season. Not even Johnny Vaught did that. He'd be the first Ole Miss coach ever to win double digits 3 straight years.
Yeah, I think should be a lot of excitement about this Ole Miss team, and I think you kind of knew 2 years ago at the end of the season when everyone was talking about let's run it back, the one final ride, the last dance type of season, and let's run it back and see what we can do. And you had so many guys return last year, and you knew that wasn't going to be the same this year just because of eligibility alone. And so you're going to see a lot of new guys out there, and definitely excited about Austin Simmons, a young guy, but a guy that's been in that program for a couple of years now. You mentioned it, that drive against Georgia last year when he had to go in there for Jackson Dart and led them on a touchdown drive was really impressive. And so really curious to see what he can do as the starter. You look down this roster, and it's going to be, like you said, a lot of new guys. So it's going to be fun to kind of see what this team looks like, kind of different from last year when there was so many guys returning.
I'm going to miss the old ones, and a lot of them in the NFL, including J.J. Pegues. Really going to miss him around the program and on the field, primarily on the field. How great a player he was. I'm looking forward to seeing the running back contingent and who will potentially emerge, because last year Ole Miss did not run the ball well at all. They particularly didn't run it well with traditional running backs running the ball. Jackson Dart bailed Ole Miss out all of last year. The offensive line had some deficiencies really all year. It was a lot of different reasons for it, but it just got whipped some up front in the bigger games, and even in the loss to Kentucky, there wasn't a lot of running space. And in Lane Kiffin's first couple of years at Ole Miss, either led the SEC in rushing or second. Then Luz Quinshon had the troubles last year, I think second or third, or maybe in fourth 2 years ago with Quinshon. Then last year, way back, this year want to watch and see the running backs and who can emerge there as the go-to guy. Early in the Lane Kiffin years, he had Jerry Neely and Snoop Connor, then had Quinshon. And last year, Henry Parrish got off to a good start, but then got hurt. He was a smaller stature player and just wasn't going to be the kind of ground and pound guy that Quinshon was, and to see if somebody can emerge there. Troy State transfers being counted on, and Logan Diggs being counted on, and freshman Shakai Mills-Knight being counted on. I'm looking forward to seeing who really wants it Saturday. And who was our guest early in the week that talked about even in a blowout, maybe not as much a wholesale substitution because you got to get some chemistry going.
I think that was Jonah talking about.
I think
it
was
the
Jonah
Tigers
on Monday.
And all
it was
of the new guys, especially up front on the offensive line. Of maybe let those guys go a little bit longer, so you can get that feeling.
Copy and paste for Ole Miss offensive line.
Yeah,
you may have to get your 5 and go with them and see what they can do. And then on defense, Ole Miss loses Princely Umanamielen, but also this year gets Prince Will Umanamielen, the transfer from Nebraska, and got the younger brother they're recruiting at Princeton, Umanamielen. So get used to that. And Georgia State, their big win last year was the upset over Vanderbilt. That ought to have your attention.
Yeah, it definitely should. And I'm curious. Obviously, with Memphis seeing Georgia State this year as well. I'm curious to see what this Georgia State offense looks like, especially. And they bring back a big-time receiver in Ted Hurst that was really good last year, nearly 1,000 yards receiving. And then those running backs, they had a couple good running backs last year, lost their 3 leading rushers. They bring in 4 guys that have Power 4 experience. So I think, that running back room could definitely be something you don't want to overlook, whether you're Ole Miss, whether you're Memphis, or whether you're any team in the Sun Belt, because one of those guys pops off. And one guy that Ole Miss and Memphis familiar with, Rashad Amos, who spent a season at Ole Miss, was with the Tigers in the spring, now with Georgia State. So maybe that's a guy in a familiar setting, can maybe have a good day running the ball.
And I like him. He's a straight-ahead guy. I thought he would really contribute more with the Tigers than he did last year. Really thought he'd end up better at Ole Miss than he did now at Georgia State. And Georgia State, they open at Ole Miss and then host next week the Memphis Tigers down at the old Ted, where the stadium that was built for to host the opening ceremony, closing ceremony, and track and field events at the 1996 Olympics.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, and I've been talking with some buddies of maybe driving down there for that game because that would that'd be a really cool stadium to be in and obviously see the Tigers play in it. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to get a good scouting report. I know you're going to be all on top of it for the Tigers next week, but definitely with Ole Miss this week, a lot of questions for Ole Miss. I think we haven't gotten to our W's and L's for Ole Miss yet, but piecing together what we've already put together, I think both of us are pretty high on Ole Miss again this season, and it definitely starts with what I think a lot of people hope is a pretty commanding win over Georgia State, and with a lot of new guys, it's going to be fun to see what does Austin Simmons look like, who are his go-to receivers. You mentioned the running backs. What do they look like? Who emerges from that group? So a lot of question marks, and kind of same thing with the defense, with a lot replacing on the defense of who are those guys that stand out. And I think last year and a couple of the past years, you talk about Ole Miss starting against FCS opponents. This time you're facing it is a Group of 5 opponent, but it is an FBS opponent. So I think will be a good first game for Ole Miss.
Last year, Furman. This year, Georgia State. Shop locally with your friends at East Memphis Ace Hardware at 5143 Quince in the Quince Station Shopping Center. That's where the nice people are, very helpful and knowledgeable, with knowledgeable employees, and you need to be a part of that customer loyalty program. We know this weekend a lot of tailgating, a lot of trips to maybe the last trip to the lake or something like that, and a lot of grilling out. Start with that Big Green Egg. That would be the way to get it going all weekend. Crank that Big Green Egg up in about an hour or so, and just let it cook all the way through Monday night. We've always wanted that old-fashioned hardware store. Well, we've got it in Memphis. We've got it with what Janelle and Jarrett Carter and what they built: plants, tools, lawnmowers, grills. I mentioned the Big Green Egg. There are others: Traeger, gas grills, charcoal grills, flat-top grills, Weber, Blackstone, and at East Memphis Ace Hardware. Go in there, and they'll have their associates let you with everything you need to get cooking. Knowledgeable advice on how to choose the perfect grill, outdoor power equipment, paint supplies, tools. Decorate your yard for football season with Tigers and all the SEC yard decor. Let the neighbors know exactly where you stand with your football loyalties. Outdoor living with patio furniture, coolers, all the great brands like Toro and Milwaukee and Steel. Ace really is the helpful place in East Memphis Ace Hardware. They're the local friendly place at 5143 Quince in Quince Station Shopping Center at Quince and White Station.
Well, let's get to another break, and when we return, we got to get back to the W's and L's. We'll start in the American. UAB and Tulane. We'll knock those two teams out next on Sports Time.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Memphis is a love song to soul and style. With the full suite of sought-after designers, brilliant natural diamonds, an elegant bar, luxury VIP lounge, and more, a trip to our store is an experience like no other. Just like the city we love. Stop by any of our stores or visit sissyslogcabin.com and experience Sissy's for yourself. Memphis is our home, and we're your jeweler.
Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Everywhere I go, I take my laptop with me, and I happen to be coming through Memphis. We had a big show that night, and I just recorded a gem of a song on my laptop. And what do you know, the whole thing crashes. I lost this brand new song, and of course I didn't remember it because I was blackout drunk. So I heard about Cooper Systems. I took my computer over to Cooper Systems, and they were able to save everything. All the live footage, all the work I have done. I tell you, Lee and Lauren Cooper are the best at saving computers. So if your computer crashes, don't fret, my love. Go to Cooper Systems. You can find them on the web at coopersystems.com or call them at 360-9679. I tell you what, Lee, Lauren, and I are going to party like rock stars tonight because I owe them $1 million. But they don't charge $1 million there, mate. And you know what? They even have new and used computers there too. So if you need to get your little ladder computer, hop in there and get you a used computer. If you need to upgrade your Apple or get you a brand new HP or something along those lines, coopersystems.com. I tell you what, I'll be back in Memphis again, and when I do, I'll go see Lee and Lauren at Cooper Systems.
Rick's Powder Coating, for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Hey, Mid-South, if you're looking for a new ride at a great price, you know we got it at Gossett Kia on the Pike, and they all come equipped with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. 2025 Kia K4 LXS, we got it $185 a month, 39 MPG highway. How about 2025 Kia K5 GT line, we got it $245 a month. And 2025 Kia Sportage LX Hybrid, Gossett Kia on the Pike's got it at $295 a month. All $49.99 do it signing, 24-month lease. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today. Hurry to Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
K4 LXS SE 177-230 MSRP 24,465. K5 GT Line S5 31,3320 MSRP 29,780. Sportage S7 21,7285 MSRP 32,810. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through KFA. Excludes TTNL with approved credit. Dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 9/2/2025.
Newsflash! Family Leisure needs your help. Family Leisure has a warehouse full of inventory, and they need it cleaned out. Do your part to make room for new items, and you get great deals on almost everything. Listen up. All in-stock patio furniture, it's up to 80% off. You can get a 4-piece deep seating set for under $1,000. Chaise lounges. You buy one and you're going to need another, and that other one will be one half off. All Polywood furniture, it's now 20 to 30% off. You buy any dining table, you're going to get an umbrella absolutely free, and they're not cheap. Now, is financing available? You better believe it. Special financing is a go. To sum it all up, Family Leisure has got to clear out its warehouse inventory, which means you're going to rack up the savings. Help Family Leisure clear out the warehouse. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together to clean out the warehouse.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian and Brett with you, and we got to get back to our wins and losses, and we got to knock out a couple teams in the American, UAB and Tulane. I'm pretty high on one of these teams, not very high on the other, so I don't know. Where do we want to start? Who wants to start us?
Landon?
I would be happy to. I will go with the lesser of the two teams. That will be UAB by a landslide. I have UAB going 2-10, 0-8 in conference play. Their only wins coming from, I believe that's Alabama State and Akron.
Very same.
Yikes. All right.
Very same.
Wow.
UAB plays tonight.
UAB does play tonight against Alabama State. I've already bet on the game. I have.
Just,
UAB minus 20.5.
That wasn't any kind of laugh.
It's okay. You can laugh at me.
Big year for Trent Dilfer.
It's got to be a huge year. I have them 5-7 this season.
Oh, wow.
Highly optimistic.
I think they sign up for all that right now.
I would hope so. It feels like a different Trent Dilfer to me, and it needs to be because the first couple of seasons it was awful. They win tonight against Alabama State. They lose at Navy. They win against Akron. They lose at Tennessee. They lose against Auburn. They beat Florida Atlantic. They lose against the Tigers. They beat UConn. They lose to Rice. They lose to North Texas. They lose to South Florida. But then they finish the season with a win against Tulsa, on the road against Tulsa. So that is a 5-7 season, 2-6 in conference play. So it'd be a better year. I don't know what that would do for UAB, but it'd be better.
He's floated his own name out there. What about Ed Orgeron at UAB next year?
Hey, if that's a job he'd like, then I think everyone at UAB would certainly sign up for that.
I think they would, but that goes right into my theory of when you've been to your mountaintop job, how are you going to do when you take that lesser job in the next one? I mean, he's not running Joe Burrow and those players through Jamar Chase and Jefferson and all that 2019 team. He's not going to have anything that would resemble that. Then it would be even less than the player talent he had at Ole Miss, and Ed Orgeron couldn't do very much with that.
No, but I mean, if you're talking about UAB, if it's a type of season that you are predicting, you really, at that point, you just need someone that's going to come in and win the press conference. And Ed Orgeron, if UAB announced Ed Orgeron, national champion SEC coach Ed Orgeron is taking the UAB job, everybody would get behind that. And I think right now that's what UAB needs.
Didn't Trent Dilfer win the press conference, though?
Yes, but that was for a completely different reason. He was the kind of unconventional, fun.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have a great offense, former quarterback.
One of the high school guys.
Yeah, did it in high school. So this would be a proven, I've done it at college. I've done it. I know. That's one of those things you don't say it in the press conference, Brett. Yeah, I did it with Joe Burrow and all of these great athletes that are playing on Sundays. But I did it. I won the national championship. I've coached in the SEC. I can get it done at UAB, and I think that's what they would need at UAB after this season.
Remind me to ask Pat Smith this when we get to it, because Pat works with at Jocks on the UAB broadcast. Yep. Landon Roberts, his partner, also on that. And here's the question: What would be winning the press conference? Would Jocks go live to the presser of hiring Ed Orgeron, or just hiring the offensive coordinator from Texas State?
Whatever, yeah, that's a great question. I think if Ed Orgeron is there, I think it's wall-to-wall coverage.
I do too.
I think
all right,
it's every
Tulane.
second. Landon, why don't you start us off again?
Why don't I start us off with the Green Wave? I'm very big on the Green Wave this year. They have a very tough non-conference schedule, probably the toughest in the American Conference. So I have them going 10-2, 8-0 in conference play. Their only 2 losses coming back-to-back, starting with Duke at home and then traveling to Ole Miss, and I don't think they lose another game.
I'm 11-1 with the only loss being in Oxford against Ole Miss. Tiger fans, yeah, that's Tulane winning here, but I think those teams will rematch, except for this, and that's my conference schedule or American Conference tiebreaker thing. If Memphis is set 6-2 in conference, and Tulane would win it at 7-1 by mine. But Army is also, as I have Army, I have them 10-2, and I think 6-2, maybe 7-1. Then Memphis would be left out.
Yeah.
No, that's not right. Memphis would be 7-1 as well, as I have it, because of Arkansas and Tulane.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'd have 8-0 Tulane. They win the league and they host. We have 2 7-1s. Army and Memphis. Yeah. We got to find out that tiebreaker, and they don't play.
No, they don't play. That's the thing. See, in mine, I have Navy and Memphis both 7-1, and they would play each other, and Memphis would beat Navy, and so it's very easy that way. But in yours,
but Army wouldn't be 7-1 yet, would they? Because they haven't played Navy yet.
That's right. But that doesn't count for does that count for a conference game? With our great conference, because some of those times those games do count as conference games.
Oh, is that right?
I don't know. I can't remember what they said if that would be a conference game, because that'd be after the conference.
It does not count.
Game. Yeah,
it does not count.
So.
It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
But still 7-1 in the league for Army.
Yeah. So good Lord, that's kind of the issue you face when you add both Army and Navy to your conference, and you want to keep traditions alive. It kind of makes things complicated. Well, for me, for Tulane, I have them, if I can find them on the sheet. Here we are. 11-1, 8-0 in conference play. I'm exactly like you, Brett. I have the only loss coming against Ole Miss. I know Jake Retzlaff isn't listed as the starting quarterback for them just quite yet. There's an or listed between him and another quarterback because of how late he got there. But you talk about everyone already talking about this Tulane team. Before Jake Retzlaff gets dismissed from BYU and goes and says, I'm going to go play for Tulane. If you remember, Jake Retzlaff was one of the stories of the college football season last year with what he was doing at BYU. A guy who, in his time at BYU, threw for over 3,500 yards, 2,900 yards last season with 20 touchdowns. So that's a guy that did it at a pretty high level at BYU. I think he'll come in and probably be the starting quarterback for Tulane by the end of the season. So I think they roll. And I think they'll be right there in the conversation for a Group of 5 spot. And if mine is correct, then I believe I would have either Memphis or Navy playing them. No, I'd have Memphis playing them in the title game, and we'll see how that falls out.
That's what I have, but we got to go through the tiebreakers, don't we?
No kidding.
Who knew? Tulane, 4.5-point favorite early Saturday morning at Ullman. That's on ESPNU over Northwestern. That's a 1,600 SAT game.
Yeah, I was about to say the Smart Bowl, but I don't know. I mean, maybe take Tulane minus the
Big
4.5.
Ten against the American. Go American.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's some really good matchups. We already talked about a couple of them. The USF game that's going to start here.
I like the top of the American.
No, it's really good.
Please don't misunderstand when I run down that. But I mean, it was almost with picking the American on my 9-3 SEC stuff. Does it really match? Can you have that many 2-10 teams and it really match?
Yeah, well, that's a really good point because it's a big separation between the bottom and the top. But I mean, you look at some of these opponents on the schedules. The first 2 weeks of the season in the American, you've got NC State, you've got Northwestern, Boise State, Texas A&M. Next week, Florida, Houston now in a power conference.
Memphis and the Razorbacks.
North Carolina. Yeah, you go even further. You've got Arkansas on the schedule. Kansas State next week for Army. So, I mean, there's some good opponents for teams in the American and a good opportunity for some of these teams at the top of the American to knock off some of these power teams and put a good name on the American.
Any way FAU could surprise Greg Gaston's Terrapins? Boy, Greg would be in some mood if that happened.
Yeah, no, he really would. And yeah, I completely skipped over Maryland.
The Terps are on upset alert.
We will ask him, but FAU.
You may not take that question well. I don't want to make Greg mad at me.
But you got a new coach in there. You got a new quarterback that was slinging it around the field at Western Kentucky last year. So I mean, maybe I don't know, maybe.
Greg will be tweeting at Mike Loxley directly
yeah, I mean,
if Maryland opens with a loss.
It will be really, really bad. But we'll ask him a little bit later in the show when we talk to Greg Gaston. But right now, we need to wrap up this first hour and get to a break. When we return, we'll talk some NFL. Keith Smith from Spotrac, NBA with Keith Smith from Spotrac and the Front Office Show. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Surprise the family with a new club car and experience the best golf cart in the industry. A new golf cart is perfect for cruising the neighborhood, enjoying yourself at the lake, turning heads on the course, and just having something reliable to use around the yard. Ladd's has you covered with new and used golf cars. The new club car Onward, available in electric or gas and a variety of colors and features. Ladd's goes beyond the green. Whitten and I-40 or online at lads.net.
Hey everybody, if you're ready for an all-new Silverado, All-Star Chevy right here in Olive Branch has financing as low as 0% and thousands in savings. It's All-Star Chevy's end of summer sale. Thousands off MSRP on everything you're looking for. Tahoes, Suburbans, Traverses, more new Silverados than you'll find anywhere. Choose a new 2026 Silverado or Trailblazer and make no payments for 90 days of fall. And your good credit deserves it. Teachers, military, law enforcement, and all first responders get an extra $500 bonus. And every pre-owned or certified pre-owned Chevy is here for you to test drive today. This is the best week to get the most money for any vehicle you want to sell. Bring it to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get a big check today. Not tomorrow. Today. Tailgating or fall road trips, let's go. Don't miss the end of summer sale at All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com. Together, let's drive.
College football is back. Saturdays are yours to own with DraftKings. Here's something special for first-timers. New customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The code is HERD, H-E-R-D, for new customers to get $300 $300 instantly in bonus bets, betting just $5. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Marshall Steakhouse is a feast for the eyes as well as the body. Enjoy all American USDA prime steaks, aged 30 days or more, and other delicious meats and sides. Marshall Steakhouse in Holly Springs, named the #1 steakhouse in Mississippi by the Food Network, and named in the top 2 most legendary steakhouses in the South by Southern Living Magazine. Make reservations today and get free bread pudding by calling 662-252-2424 or online at marshallsteakhouse.com. Marshall Steakhouse in Holly Springs, a Southern treat.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56 560 AM and 98.5 FM, your Mid-South sports station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. We got a couple of accidents getting some attention out here. Some of that rain, especially south and southwest of Memphis, trying to get through the area. Be careful down sections of 55 down through DeSoto County this afternoon with that weather as traffic cranks up 240 east from Mill Branch onto 385 there, Billmores Parkway going outbound, starting to really pick up. Weimer's Jewelry, your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. Go by and see them, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Memphis's original sports station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis and W253DF Memphis. Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our second hour on this Thursday afternoon. And that means we have to talk the NBA, and we do it every single week with Keith Smith.
Time to talk NBA with Keith Smith from Spot Rack and the Front Office Show. And on Twitter X at Keith Smith NBA. Here's Keith Smith talking basketball with Bryant and Brett.
Keith Smith joins us now from Spot Track and the Front Office Show to talk the NBA. And Keith, a lot to get to this afternoon, but I did see over on ESPN, they're starting their preseason predictions for the NBA season. And today they did their finals predictions for the year. So I'll ask you, right now, a lot can change still before the start of the season, but if you had to predict, who would you predict to be in the NBA finals at the end of this upcoming season?
That's a good question. I'd probably say Oklahoma City is the safest pick, and then maybe the Knicks. I think in the East, I'm just worried about the Cavs staying healthy. It's been such an issue for them, and they're already starting the year kind of behind the eight ball with Darius Garland injured, and the news that Max Strus is going to miss time. So I'm just a little bit worried about them, and Knicks are pretty solid, added some depth. So that's what I would go with for right now here at the end of August.
What would be your most fun pick that would be realistic?
You had to throw in that qualifier at the end because I would have said Celtics-Lakers because I always want Celtics-Lakers. But, maybe like Denver and Bucks would be kind of fun to see. Jokic and Giannis going head-to-head on the biggest stage possible. I think that would be kind of fun.
Yeah, that would be fun because when they both got Denver got their first ever and Milwaukee got their first in a long, long time, I thought each would get more than one, and now the clock's ticking.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it just goes to show it's really hard to win a championship in the NBA. Not that it's not in other sports, too, but talking specifically NBA. I mean, it is really hard. And that's part of the reason why I think when teams are close, they owe it to themselves, meaning the team, the players, the coaches, the front office, the fans, to go for it. Like, go for it when you're close. Because we all love to think right now that the Oklahoma City Thunder, all right, they won a title, this team's loaded, they're young, they've got all these extra draft picks, they're not going to go anywhere, they're going to rip off, 3-4 titles and, the next several years, and it's all going to be good. And it rarely happens like that, and it's been even more rare recently. I think, what are we on, 7 or 8 straight years of different champions? So it's, it really is. It's one of those things where you never want to kind of count on something being locked in because you just don't know if that's going to be how it plays out.
Absolutely. I do want to throw this in there for the listening audience. And Keith, please forgive me if I burst into tears during this segment at any point. But breaking news, Micah
Live radio,
Parsons,
Keith, it got us.
Micah Parsons has been traded to the Green Bay Packers. I am sick right now, so forgive me, Keith, if I start crying during this segment.
Do you burn the jersey tomorrow?
I don't know what Brett, I really don't even know what I'm going to do the rest of the show.
You take over with Keith?
Yeah, you might need to ask the next question because I'm in shambles right now.
Keith, what has been the trade of your team of a favorite player that it stung that you contemplated burning a jersey?
Oh, geez. I don't know that I ever really got to that level. I can tell you one that, like, my daughter is still not over, was when the Celtics traded Isaiah Thomas. She was, like, just starting to really understand basketball. She liked the little guy on the court, and she thought he was, the greatest because he was small compared to everybody else, and he was playing so well and really, doing his thing out there, and she still brings it up and is, still, like, angry that they traded him. I don't know, for me, that's a tough one. I mean, it really stung when Tom Brady left. It wasn't a trade, but left the Patriots for me, because that was, like, kind of the sign of, all right, it's over. Like, this dynasty era that we've had, this 20-year run of, excellence year in, year out is just over. And that one, I don't know that I'm still over that one.
Mine was, wasn't a jersey, it was just fandom that it hurt. It still does, because I loved him so much. He was my favorite Cardinals baseball player until Albert Pujols. It was not Albert signing free agency. I kind of felt that was coming and even said, what part of free agency do you not get? He can legitimately, and the Cardinals, shoulda, coulda wrapped that up and not let it get to that point. But for me, it was Keith Hernandez from the Cardinals to the Mets, and it was a key linchpin deal with the Mets. The Mets did a lot of right things in that stretch, kind of developing Mookie Wilson and some of the young pitching, getting Gary Carter, trading for Keith Hernandez, and then you had to play them in the National League East for a long time. And a couple weeks ago, the Mets were in St. Louis, and the Cardinal announcers had him in the booth with them. And it's still, 41 years later, or 42, still stung a little bit.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it's tough, especially when you've had a guy for a very long time. Like, that's where, it really, those are the ones that hit you more, because that's your guy, right? And
that
it's
you
been,
won.
like, they've always been there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's why, for me, like, with Brady leaving, it was just, there's my alert going off to let me know. So
there you go.
But, yeah, that's why that one,
See,
really
people, nothing in the can. This is live radio.
No, absolutely not. Keith, I know you've been watching the Eurobasket tournament that just got started yesterday. I was watching France earlier today. They got a win over Belgium, but a guy that I have really liked watching in his young NBA career had a good game for France today. Bilal Koulibaly, he was the tied for leading scorer for France with 12 points, led the team in rebounds with 7. One of the big pieces to this young core in Washington. What type of step do you think he makes this upcoming season, and what will this year look like?
Yeah, he was really on his way last year, having a kind of a breakout year, and then he got injured. And this wasn't one of those injuries where it's, they're trying to tank. I mean, they were doing just fine with that, even with him playing. It was a legit thing, and it was, that's when it kind of stinks, right? Because a bad season is one thing. When it starts to turn into a little bit of a lost season for a player or team, that's where it gets rough. But the good news is he's recovered. He looked great, like you said, today in their win over Belgium for France. He's going to be a big part of the national team, and absolutely the Wizards are looking for him to be a major part of things going forward for them. And him and Alex Starr and Trey Johnson, who they drafted this year, they got Sean George and Bub Carrington. Like, those are their guys that they're going to build this around. And with Koulibaly, he's kind of got everything you need as far as an athletic wing. He's got all the athletic tools. The question is, can he put it all together? Is he going to shoot consistently? Can he become a ball handler, a creator, and a playmaker? And if he can do those things, he's going to be well on his way to having a really terrific career. I couldn't be more excited about that young group that Washington putting together, and that they're not rushing anything. They're being very clear of, hey, it's going to take some time, and a lot of people in that organization came from the Thunder, and they're of the mindset of, hey, if you take your time and you do this the right way, you can obviously, it'll pay off big time.
Keith, are we certain before the NBA season begins the Lakers wouldn't top the Cowboys and deal LeBron?
Certain? No. I don't think it'll happen. And it would definitely have to be something where LeBron initiates it from a standpoint of, hey, I'm ready, or the Lakers come to him with, we just have this incredible offer we can't say no to. What do you think? And then LeBron's like, all right, yeah, let's make it happen, because he's okay with where it is. Because the thing that you have to remember, one, it's LeBron, right? So you're not just going to move LeBron. But the other part is he does have that no-trade clause. So for him, he's going to control things even more so than just the fact that he's LeBron James. He can really kind of say, nope, not doing it. Doesn't matter if the Lakers have an offer for 15 first-round picks and 5 great young players. If he doesn't want to go, he doesn't want to go. But so I don't think it's going to happen. I will say this. I don't think he's going to be there next year. I think we are watching his final year with the Lakers, and I think he will be somewhere else after this season. But I don't know that he's going to get traded.
Has there been any guy, no, still very early in the Euro basketball, but is there any guy that, is kind of more of a rotation piece in the NBA, kind of end of a bench guy, or a guy that's trying to find his spot in the NBA that's jumped out to you in some of these early games?
Yeah, Denny Abdia had a really nice game this morning for Israel against Iceland as they won. He played really well. He's a big part of the rotation for Portland there, one of their better all-around players. Sandro Mamukelashvili for Georgia. He moved to the Raptors from the Spurs this offseason. He had a terrific game, really good all-around game. They ran a lot of their offense through him. They played some double big lineups with him and Goga Bitadze. They knocked off Spain. That's been that or Poland over Slovenia. Those have been the 2 major upsets that we've seen so far. And then I think Nikola Vucevic yesterday, established NBA guy that we all know, but he showed, hey, I can do some stuff as he helped Montenegro hang in this for a little while against Germany. Alperen Şengün had a good game. Lauri Markkanen was really good for Finland. Serbia did their thing with a bunch of their guys. Nikola Jovic, though, maybe is one of the real standouts. He was on, again, another guy who was really putting together a nice season for the Heat and then had some injuries and kind of waylaid that a little bit. But he has played well for them when given opportunities. He's going to be a big part of the rotation this year. I don't think he was their leading scorer for Serbia in Game 1, but he also had 6 assists and showed some playmaking shots with the ball in his hand.
Keith, before we talk to you again next Thursday, you can say this on Monday. Camp starts this month. You can say that Monday.
Yeah, I know. I am beyond fired up. Don't get me wrong. I'm super excited to have Eurobasket and have it going on right now because it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, we're a month out from things getting started in the NBA. We're under 8 weeks now until the start of the regular season and all that. So I know people never cease to remind me, hey man, football's just getting started. Like, let's cool it with that. But I'm a basketball guy, I'm an NBA guy, and I can't wait. it seems like these off seasons are getting shorter and shorter, and we still have some major roster stuff going on with restricted free agents and how teams are going to fill out their rosters. But we're getting there. We're getting real close now.
Yeah, we absolutely are. Keith, can you explain to me what we're seeing with Malik Beasley right now? He was, at least according to his agent, cleared
$7 million cut.
Yeah, I mean, cleared from federal investigation,
Yeah.
but we've seen all these stories that have come out.
Somebody
since
did a
that
number on
started.
him.
I mean, yeah, it's been kind of a mess for him. What does this mean now that he's been cleared going forward with him trying to find a new team?
Yeah, I want to be very clear. Much like I didn't become a doctor, I didn't become a lawyer either. So much to my mom's chagrin. But I will say this: there was a subsequent report that came out this week, which kind of I'm going to use the wrong term, but cleared things up that he hasn't necessarily been cleared. It's just more he's no longer the primary target of the investigation. That doesn't say that he's not involved. There might not still be something that comes down the line, but they're focusing elsewhere for now. But it was enough, I think, to kind of get NBA teams saying, all right, maybe we can start to get a little bit of movement here. The Detroit Pistons never kind of cut bait with Malik Beasley. They held on to his free agent rights. They, by all accounts, were ready to offer him a 3-year contract worth about $42 million, and then held up because clearly you couldn't do that not knowing what his status would be. But they still have his free agent rights. They can pay him about $7 million this upcoming year. So if he's open to doing a little bit more of another short-term deal, see what it looks like he could be back in Detroit. But Cleveland, which now has a real need with Max Strus out, they could get involved here. It's important to note with Cleveland and New York's another team, and Minnesota. Those 3 teams have all been mentioned, but they're all limited to offering him a veteran minimum contract. But I think, Malik Beasley, if it does come out that, hey, he's fully cleared and there's nothing going to happen with this, I think you're going to see some other legal action taken on his side to try to recoup some of the money that he lost, because this clearly cost him quite a bit of money in salary, because there's no way he's going to recoup what he would have gotten had none of this stuff come out prior.
It's been a weird offseason, to say the least, for him, and like you said, we'll see if that kind of affects things moving forward. Last thing for you, Keith, we talked about some of those young players that are restricted free agents that we haven't seen any resolution on yet. Jonathan Kuminga, probably the biggest one right now. Where do we stand now? As like Brett said, we are getting really close to guys reporting and starting training camp. Where are we with some of those guys that are still out there as restricted free agents?
Yeah, we've got a couple of guys with Kuminga and Josh Giddey and Quentin Grimes and Cam Thomas. They're still in a staring contest with their teams on what are we going to do here. Now, it's important to know we've got not an immediate, but we've got a date of October 1st. That's the date you want to kind of keep an eye on. That's a few days after training camps will open up, but that's the last day that the player can just sign the qualifying offer that they have for next year. So something's going to get done by then. It'll either be I sign the qualifying offer, I play out the year on a 1-year contract, and then we see what happens in unrestricted free agency in the summer of 2026. Those teams, though, are still trying to work out long-term deals. It sounded like at various points this offseason that Josh Giddey and the Bulls were close. And by close, I mean they were, a few million a year apart, which shouldn't be holding things up, I wouldn't think. But here we are. Cam Thomas, the Nets have basically said, hey, we're coming in low because we don't know that we're ready to lock in to you as a long-term part of this future as we really start rebuilding this team. And quite frankly, in my opinion, Cam Thomas said, yeah, no chance I'm signing for that little bit of money. So we're still kind of stuck there. Quentin Grimes, similar position with Philly, who has rebuilt their backcourt. But Kuminga's the one we got to really keep eyes on. There's very much a split in the Warriors camp as well. Some of those folks feel like Jonathan Kuminga is really good and we should pay him and keep him around and have him as part of our future. And there's other folks that are like, he's just never really going to make it here and he's not going to break through as a regular rotation guy. And that means, maybe we got to go a different direction. And with Kuminga, he's kind of looking at it and saying, hey, I'm not signing any kind of team-friendly deal because I want to get paid here. And the Warriors are in a spot where, hey, maybe we need to move this guy in a trade and figure it out.
Yeah, no, It's going to be fun over these next couple weeks to see how everything plays out. Keith, as always, thanks so much for joining us. We'll do it again next week.
Hey, Brian, hang in there, man. It'll get better,
man.
I promise.
I hope
It's
so.
tough on him, Keith.
Thank you,
Keith. Appreciate you.
See ya.
Man.
Thank you.
You got it. Keith Smith talking NBA with us year-round, every Thursday at 4 o'clock, and we'll all the way through the NBA season next year. I know it's tough on Brian. Keith is on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. Sissy's Log Cabin, the official jeweler of our NBA team, the hometown Memphis Grizzlies, and big supporter of Tigers athletics. We're going to have Tiger football tickets to give away for this weekend, maybe before today's show ends, but definitely for tomorrow. And however many we get from the great people at Sissy's Log Cabin, we will give away to our listeners. That great location at 4542 Popper and Perkins in Laurelwood. I mentioned supporter of Tiger Athletics, and next week we'll start our look back at the weekend in the SEC, brought to you by Sissy's Log Cabin. The Mid-South's largest selection of one-of-a-kind jewelry, necklaces, earrings, wedding bands for those special moments in your life. That's the place to go to start that special moment. 9,000 square foot store in Laurelwood with expanded lines for Rolex, Cartier, diamonds, and more since 1970, with all the great locations across the Mid-South. Sissy's, they offer a selection of diamonds, estate jewelry, and fine gifts. I mentioned the Grizzlies, and we get back to FedEx Forum. We'll get back to the floor seat lounge at FedEx Forum and both baseline seating areas, sponsored by Sissy's Log Cabin. Unsurpassed value, exceptional service, expansive selection, and an extraordinary shopping experience, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry. Let me start with, I missed as bad as you can miss on this story. There was no way I thought it would end with this loggerhead, with this decision, and it is as ugly a divorce as it's about ever been in the Cowboy organization. And I don't mind the pieces they got back.
I don't even know what they got. Can you tell me what they got back?
Yeah, I saw
Kenny
it.
Clark and 2 first-round picks.
When are they?
I don't know when.
But
well, at least I got something right.
This is panic time.
I said that the Cowboys would lead Sports Center tonight. I didn't think it would be like this.
Lead Sports Center. I'm not kidding you. The NFL Network, naturally,
Oh,
they
yeah.
should.
Yeah.
I mean,
They cut in.
it's like Dealey Plaza, 1963.
We were watching
on CBS.
Well, we were watching the pregame show for Boise State and USF, and they cut over to the network. And
never thought it would get to this.
Brian,
I missed 1,000,000%.
I said it the first day when I saw him tweet that out. I was terrified. I was worried. And then as things kept going and as I kept seeing different things, I was like, they'll eventually get this worked out. And then, I'll be honest, I was getting text messages from people when we started that segment saying Micah. All it said was Micah. And I was like, what's going on? And then I just did a quick Twitter search, and everything was popping up in my face. And, yeah, I mean, this is panic time for the
Luka
for the Cowboys.
dealt from the Mavs. Cowboys dealt from the Parsons dealt from the Cowboys. This is much bigger.
Oh, yeah. You're a Dallas fan. If you live in Dallas, you live in Texas, and you're just a fan of Dallas sports, what a terrible year you've had. I mean,
Really?
what an awful year you've had.
And the Rangers didn't come close to backing up that World Series win, but they got it. But
they got it, but then the next year they were,
Yeah.
But good Lord, this is a mess.
Biggest Packer defensive acquisition since Reggie White and free agency?
Absolutely. I mean, this is massive for the Packers, and you look at what they've got and what they're now adding with Micah Parsons, and already have the
They
deal
were
in
real
place.
close.
I mean, yeah, they are looking scary right now. So I definitely, if I can take my Cowboys hat off, you definitely love this for the Packers. You mentioned some of those pieces they're getting back. I mean, Kenny Clark.
What will you do with your jersey?
I really don't know right now, Brett. I really have no
Will
idea.
you ever wear it again?
I don't, Brett. I was ready. I mean, I saw it this morning in my closet, and I was like, I can't wait next Thursday to wear that and get ready for the Cowboy season. I really don't know. Will they give
Sunday
number 11
night
to
football,
somebody
September
else?
28th. Packers at Cowboys.
Oh, at Cowboys. Yikes. Wow, that's crazy. That is insane.
If Jerry Jones likes publicity, well, he's going to get a bushel basket of it.
He's certainly gotten his publicity. So, the news coming out, Cowboys are trading Micah Parsons to the Packers, who will sign him to a 4-year, $188 million extension, $136 million guaranteed. That comes from Tom Pelissero. Parsons gets $47 million a year on the deal. So.
By the end of the weekend, over or under the leaked story of something in the MRI, you think it happens? Over or under by the end by Sunday night bedtime?
Under,
no doubt.
Absolutely under.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something, either that or the stories come out about how bad this was behind the scenes with Micah and Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
If we don't get anything MRI, but I would say, seeing as you had the MRI just yesterday, 2 days ago, and now you have him immediately traded to the Packers, I would not be surprised.
That'd be pretty cheap stuff if that happened, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I won't pass anybody. So remember who we're dealing with. But
that we are it's a stunner. I never ever thought it would get to this. I just thought it would be the protracted dance and he signs.
Yep, we're far from that. He's signing, not with the Cowboys.
I would not want to be Dak Prescott that Sunday night.
Man, no, not at all. Yeah,
he's coming off the edge with really foul intent.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Dak is unfortunately going to be the guy in the way, and all that frustration is coming out.
No question. I don't think it was many anyway, but this is 100% Dak's team now.
Oh, no doubt about it. I thought you were going to say this is going to be when we get to the end of the year and we talk about our 10 biggest stories nationally. This will be on there somewhere.
See how he plays.
That's true, but
see how he plays, but it's way up there right now.
Man, it's up there, and I feel like he's going to have a pretty good season with the Packers.
This hour brought to you every day by Landers Ford in Collierville, the #1 Ford dealership in the Mid-South. Landers Ford, your trusted destination, and they have a vehicle that fits any lifestyle. Seamless shopping experience from vehicle choice to financing and service. The full extent of it, from the Ford Escape to the rugged F-150 to the adventurous Bronco. Every vehicle built Ford tough, and that Ford F-150, America's best-selling truck. Just drive down any highway and just start counting the F-150s, and that tells you #1 best-selling truck. SUVs like the Ford Explorer, the Ford Expedition, the Ford Escape, the Ford Broncos, EVs, hybrid, professionalism, transparency, and a long-term support that you get at Landers Ford. Oil changes, tires rotated, go online and schedule for when it suits you the best. It'll be done quickly to meet your very busy schedule. They know that at Landers Ford. In Landers Ford, they know the community, active in the community with every type of event you can think of, with sponsorships and support, and they still have tournament vehicles from the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Those are they're about gone. You can still get one. You can get one this weekend at Landers Ford in Collierville, 2082 West Poplar, or go online at LandersFordMemphis.com. If it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
Well, we need to get to another break, and when we return, we'll talk some more college football. Spend a lot of the first hour talking college football. We'll get back to that. Pat Smith from Jocks in Birmingham. He'll join us next. We'll talk all the upcoming games this week, and we'll also start talking about this game that's just going to start here in just a couple of minutes. Boise State and South Florida. We're only a couple minutes away from that game getting started, but we're talking college football next with Pat Smith.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis has serious vans for serious work. At 4430 American Way, they are the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need one or a full fleet? New or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter Van headquarters, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes-Benz Van Center Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat. Yeah!
With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
I got him on the line. Marty McNate. Hey, man, what's up over there in VW land at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown?
Randy, we're ready to rock your world with 2025 Taos S, now $258 a month.
$258 a month for Taos S rocks. What else you got?
How about 2025 Jetta S, only $254 a month.
Brand new Jetta S, $254 a month. What about Atlas Cross Sport?
Right now, Gossett Volkswagen Germantown has 2025 Atlas Cross Sport SE, $286 a month.
Atlas Cross, $286 a month. Plus, all 2025 Atlas Peak Editions, $5,000 off MSRP.
That's right, Randy. Come see me, Marty McNate at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com. And remember, your future's what you make of it.
That's Gossett Volkswagen Germantown.
Taos SMO 58602, MSRP 27011, Jetta SMO 85183, MSRP 24150, Cross CSC 228 314, MSRP 39206. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance and Volkswagen credit. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer value 831.25.
This traffic report is brought to you by Millington Weight Loss. For more information, call 901-436-0272.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. We got a little bit busy a few minutes ago. We had a stalled vehicle on 240 southbound. They're around Union in the Midtown area. They moved it pretty quickly, but now traffic's building in that area. I can still see some rain on the radar here south of Memphis. Could affect your drive as you work your way down 55 down into certain parts of DeSoto County, all the way down into Tate County. There south of Memphis this afternoon. Be careful. Weimer's Jewelry is your diamond engagement ring headquarters. Go by and see David and his family at Weimer's Jewelry on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
When you hear the sound of coming, hear the drums drumming, I want you to join together with the band.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we got college football on the television as USF and Boise State getting ready to kick off down in Tampa. It's fun to see, but we got to talk some college football right now. Pat Smith from Jocks in Birmingham, he joins us now to talk some college football. Pat, thanks so much for joining us. A lot to get to with week one, but let's start with some of those teams down in your neck of the woods. Let's start with Alabama. We talked a little bit about them last week with you, but now game week against Florida State. What do you expect to see in this game? I know about 2-touchdown favorite on the road against Florida State. Will Alabama go out there and cover that? What do you expect to see from the Crimson Tide in that game against Florida State?
Guys, good afternoon. Always great to be with y'all talking ball. We're finally here. It's been a long, hot summer, but yeah, we have this faux fall going on, but we are fired up, ready to go. But in regards to Alabama, you know, the closer the game gets, the more nervous you can sense Alabama people are getting. Not that they think that there's going to be a 13.5-point spread that they're not going to be able to take care of and at least win on the money line. They're more worried because, one, your starting tailback hurts his collarbone in the last scrimmage. Then you have your top defensive lineman has a problem yesterday at practice, and now he's going to have tightrope surgery on his ankle. He's going to be out for probably at least 3 weeks, maybe back for the Georgia game. You've got one of your starting offensive linemen. He got dinged up with a concussion in the first scrimmage of the fall, and he has still been going through protocols, and he's been kind of easing his way back into it. So all of a sudden, this Alabama football team that a lot of people had marked down to potentially not only get to the college football playoff but make a deep run, they're starting to see some of these little nicks and bruises starting adding up, and I sensed a little bit more nervousness. That nervousness doesn't mean that there's an upset brewing, but when you go in and playing at Doak Campbell Stadium, a brand-new field, brand new refurbishment, and an 80% chance of thunderstorms and rain in Tallahassee. Weirder things have happened, guys. I still think Bama wins the game, but if you're asking me if Alabama covers, I know, Brett, you were on our show earlier today. You still think it's going to be an Alabama cakewalk. I'm getting a little bit more feeling of nervousness around that Alabama program coming into this game. So maybe not quite the victory that Brett is predicting, but I do think Alabama takes care of business and gets back home.
All right, Pat, if it's just a win, let's say in the 28-17 style, 28-20 style, something like that, the nervousness next week, who's it going to be directed the most at? Will it be Coach Kalen DeBoer or Ty Simpson?
Well, I will tell you, Brett, and I said this on the show after you were on, you know, if he goes to Tallahassee and he does not perform the way that Alabama fans expect, and I'm not talking about covering the spread. I'm talking about, listen, the last few times this Alabama team has gone on the road, granted, when they went to Baton Rouge, that was incredible what they did against LSU. But what you saw in Norman, Oklahoma with the college football playoff on the line, that was a stinker. And then you go to a bowl game and you didn't have anybody opt out, and your so-called Heisman Trophy potential quarterback is playing in the game, and Michigan's got everybody that had basically said, we're tapping out, we're not playing in the game, and you lose to Michigan. There's a lot of sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. And if you go down there as a 2-touchdown favorite and you get out of there with a 3-point win or a 5-point win, then all of a sudden those question marks about him and a trend developing of Kalen DeBoer on the road after losing in Nashville to Vanderbilt, that's going to be a legitimate question that fans are going to be asking. And, of course, as you mentioned, Ty Simpson, how does he perform when the bullets are flying? And if he performs up to what most Alabama people think he will, and he'll take care of the ball, something Jalen Milroe did not do, then Alabama's going to feel a lot better where they are. But keep in mind, this team went on the road to Madison, Wisconsin last year, and absolutely not that Wisconsin was going to be a CFP team, but for the first road trip in Kalen DeBoer's tenure after Nick Saban retired, he takes that team to Madison at Camp Randall, and he absolutely just waxes Wisconsin, just takes care of business. It wasn't even close. And, but all of a sudden you go to a couple places in the SEC last year towards the back end of the season, and it did not look good. They just have to go and take care of business trip, and get back to Tuscaloosa with a W.
Who will be the backup quarterback that Bama fans may want to see Saturday but will be clamoring for if Ty Simpson's shaky?
Well, you've got two options. You got Austin Mack, who is about 6'6", 6'7". He's a guy that came from Washington. He's a guy that, committed to DeBoer. He's a 3-star coming out of high school. He reclassified, and then he signed at Washington, and then when DeBoer left, he followed him to Tuscaloosa. He's really developed. I mean, when you see him, he's a really nice physical specimen. He's put on weight. He's tall already. He's just got that look of a big-time quarterback. He's really come a long way. But everybody will be clamoring for the 5-star number 1 quarterback.
That's
him
who
and
I
Bryce
would say.
Underwood. Yeah, Keelan Russell from Dallas. Yeah, that's the kid that, depending on what service you're looking at, he was either number 1 and Bryce Underwood at Michigan was number 2 or vice versa. So, yeah, I mean, it won't take very long if Ty Simpson kind of has a little hiccup or two. But the anticipation of this offense, guys, I have not seen this in quite some time because Ryan Grubb, every time that he has been Kalen DeBoer's offensive coordinator, they have put up incredible numbers, and they love pocket passing quarterbacks. Ty Simpson's not going to be Jalen Milroe. He's not going to get out of the pocket unless he's running for his life. Look for him potentially to run the same stuff you saw Michael Penix run up in Seattle. And that's what has a lot of people excited, especially with the offense trying to get purring, something that it just did not do last year.
Absolutely. The other big team down there, the Auburn Tigers, we know Jackson Arnold goes there from Oklahoma where he spent last season. But Hugh Freeze has said that he could play 3 quarterbacks in the season opener. What do you make of Jackson Arnold? A shaky season last year at Oklahoma. We had a guest probably about a month ago call it a win-win, a win for Auburn to get Jackson Arnold and a win for Oklahoma to move on from Jackson Arnold. So what do you expect from the quarterback that spent his time last year at Oklahoma?
Well, listen, the reviews have been raving about Jackson Arnold. The only criticism has come from his head football coach, in which Hugh Freeze has said that he basically has maybe held on to the ball not long enough, that Jackson Arnold likes to get out of the pocket and he likes to run, in which, they want him to stand in the pocket a little bit more and run through his progressions. That's been the only criticism. He's had a really good fall camp. I anticipate Auburn is going to have a really good night tomorrow night. The secondary for Auburn's really good. DJ Durkin's got that defense humming so far in fall camp. Kedrick Falk is an all-SEC, defender on the outside, on the edge. He's going to have a big year. And I think Jackson Arnold, with that wide receiver core that is ranked as one of the best in the SEC, I think that they're going to have a field day tomorrow night. I think that what Brett is predicting is going to happen between Alabama and Florida State, I think that potentially can happen with Auburn and Baylor. I think they're going to start the season with gangbusters, and I think Auburn with Jackson Arnold is going to be really, really good tomorrow night. So everything I've heard gives me the indication that the change of scenery, at least so far, has done really good for Jackson Arnold.
I think a good quarterback coach in the country is Hugh Freeze. How he coaches them. He coaches them really hard. That's why I was just shocked at what I've seen in his Auburn 2 years at the most important position in all of team sport. And he has a lot of things, a lot of fundamental things with the quarterbacks. But there's two that he just never lets up on. Get rid of the ball. Don't hold the ball. Yeah. And any time that defensive lineman jumps in that neutral zone, if you don't throw deep, I heard him tell Bo Wallace one time, he said, Bo, if you do it again, I'm canceling your food card.
Well, listen, Auburn fans are waiting for him. He was supposed to be the quarterback whisperer, and he has come down, and let's just be honest, the last 2 years, the quarterback play at Auburn has been abysmal. It's not been good at all. And so now you go out and you spend a lot of money on one of the top quarterbacks in the transfer portal, and Auburn fans want to see proof in the pudding. They want to see their investment in a quarterback finally play off. The good news for Jackson Arnold, and listen, talking to whether it's Tyler McComas in Norman or other people in Oklahoma City, they're going to tell you that, yes, Jackson Arnold did not have the season that they anticipated. But let's be honest, Oklahoma, when they played Alabama in the back end of the season, my goodness, I mean, they were basically running walk-ons out there, playing wide receivers because they had so many injuries.
And slow.
A little bit different. Yes. It's a little bit different about what Jackson Arnold has at his disposal in regards to the arsenal. The wide receivers are special. And if they and the offensive line is supposed to be one of the better improved offensive lines that you've seen at Auburn in a long time. So the anticipation is that Auburn is taking that next step this year. The roster, there's no more excuses. The roster is SEC caliber. Now they just need to go out and perform, and for Hugh Freeze's sake, they better hope they do. If not, we're having a different conversation 2 months from now.
What if both lost this weekend? Baylor beats Auburn on Friday night. FSU upsets Bama on Saturday. What will it be like? Who would freak the most?
Well, I saw Coach. Well, I still call him Coach, and I'm sorry, Mr. Tuberville. I was in an event with Senator Tuberville on Tuesday night, and he's running for governor. He
prefers Coach to Senator, though. He wants you to call him Coach.
No, he told us the other night at this get-together, he said, you know what? He said, I don't have fun in the Senate. I said, how would you like to deal with Nancy Pelosi every day? I don't care about that. He said, I'd rather be in the SEC dealing with some of these hothead coaches than Nancy Pelosi. But anyway, he's going to be our governor, so maybe I can go ahead and call him and ask him if he can go ahead and send out the National Guard, because if both of those teams lose this weekend, you better get ready, because we're working Monday. We work in Birmingham on Labor Day because it's obviously we're in hog heaven now. We're in the football season, and I promise you it will be just mass hysteria if both of those programs lose. More so in Tuscaloosa than Auburn, because they've kind of become accustomed to being disappointed. But man, Alabama fans, they will not like what took place in Tallahassee if that's an L instead of a W.
Pat Smith, our guest on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line, he's part of the UAB broadcast team. They play tonight. Your partner, Landon Roberts, also a part of that. We just went over UAB's schedule, and Pat, we did not have many wins among the three of us. Brian, a few more than Landon and I. And I speculated. He has put his name out there that he wants to get back in would y'all interrupt regular programming to bring the Ed Orgeron press conference if he was the next UAB coach?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. If that were to ever happen in the future, this is a make or break year for Trent Dilfer. And the one thing I do respect about Trent Dilfer, we did our show from down there a couple weeks ago before one of their scrimmages, and he's not hiding. He understands that he's the first person to tell you that the last 2 years is not the standard of UAB football. I mean, when Bill Clark retired because of health reasons, Bill had the same issues that Tommy Tuberville and countless others have had with neck problems and things of that nature. He had to retire. But this program was humming. You guys know that with the great rivalry that always went on between Memphis and UAB. But, he stepped aside. They still went to a bowl game with the interim head coach, who's now the head coach at Louisiana Monroe. And Dilfer's come in with a lot of fanfare, and the defense has just been awful. I mean, that's the only way that you can put it. But they've brought in Steve Russ as their defensive coordinator this year. You've got, obviously, offensive coordinator, Anderson. He's done a really nice job. So the defense, if they can get that, kind of firmed up a little bit more, I think this UAB team could potentially, find themselves with 2 or 3 games more improvement in the standings as they did last year. And that's the whole thing is trying to get this thing back on track to building. But in this age of NIL and transfer portals, we all know it's very difficult to do. But Dilfer knows he has to get out there and try to get as many wins as he can and try to get that positive momentum going again in the program.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun this week seeing all those teams in action. UAB will get our first look at them later tonight when they host Alabama State. Pat, as always, thanks so much for joining us. We'll do it again next Thursday.
That sounds good, guys. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Talk to you soon.
Right back at you, Pat.
You too, Pat. Thank you so much. And I know you're very busy tonight, so thank you for him for joining us today. He's going to be with us most Thursdays at 3:30. Turnover already.
Turnover. I love it.
Brian, I hate to be that guy because I don't know the game that well. South Florida's defense, those cats have the look about
They're
them.
flying. They're flying around the field. They look
really
good.
I know it's early and everybody's fired up at this time.
First drive, whatever. But
I looked at that first defensive alignment. I said, man, that looks like ball players.
No, they looked good in that first day. We'll see if it continues, but they looked pretty good in that first drive.
I may be as wrong about that as I was Michael Parsons.
Well, oh jeez, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Get way to bring it full circle.
Let's say we gotta keep talking about it. That's what I don't want to talk about right now.
A lot of high school games tonight, even more tomorrow night. All the college games, all the TV watching, all the tailgating, all the fun with friends started at Jason's Deli. Let them take care of you for your big event, small event, whatever events you have. Let them take care of it. All 3 meals, a variety of delicious choices for breakfast, lunch, and dinner time. Low delivery fees. Call the local deli for details. Same day, last minute orders welcome. That's when they excel. You step aside, they step in. They've got it covered. Wholesome food forever. It's a family thing at Jason's Deli. Whether you're dining in, getting it to go, having it delivered, whether you're at Tiger Lane, down in the Grove, out at high school, at your house, wherever it is, let Jason's Deli take care of you. Healthy, first franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. It's all about choice at Jason's Deli, whether you want a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids meals, or if you'd like to invent your own sandwich via the Build Your Own, Stack It High at Jason's Deli. Plenty of organic food to choose from. They were on the health kick long before it was cool. It was the right thing to do, and they did it a long time ago. First franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. Locations all over our area, over on Ridgeway in Park Place, across from MUS, at Poplar and Highland by the University of Memphis, down in Olive Branch, out in Cordova. All the menu items like the Mesa chicken salad, the nutty mixed up salad, my favorite, the taco salad, and then in all those locations, that great salad bar with over 30 items for you to prepare it however you would like. Again, no order too large, 5 or 5,000. For catering, they'll take care of you at all these locations. And all those locations, the great complimentary free ice cream. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com.
Well, we need to get to another break, and when we return, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11
here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Ah, technology. Such big computing power in a tiny package. Tablets, laptops, and PCs. Helping you get through your workday. But when they stop working, it seems it could be the bitter end. But that's why you need Cooper Systems. Cooper Systems is your local one-stop computer shop. No matter what the problem, from virus removal and data recovery, or when it's really jacked up and even cracked screens, their certified techs can save the day. Take advantage of their fast in-shop or on-site computer service to your home or business. At Cooper Systems, they fix things the others can't. They also offer a large selection of all the tech you want. New, refurbished, and super custom-built PCs and laptops. From top brands like Dell, Hewlett-Packard, Apple, Lenovo, and more. Just go to coopersystems.com or call 901-360-9679 today, and they'll do their very best to save your day.
Hey, everybody, if you're ready for an all-new Silverado, All-Star Chevy right here in Olive Branch has financing as low as 0% and thousands in savings. It's All-Star Chevy's end of summer sale. Thousands off MSRP on everything you're looking for. Tahoes, Suburbans, Traverses, more new Silverados than you'll find anywhere. Choose a new 2026 Silverado or Trailblazer and make no payments for 90 days of fall. And your good credit deserves it. Teachers, military, law enforcement, and all first responders get an extra $500 bonus. And every pre-owned or certified pre-owned Chevy is here for you to test drive today. This is the best week to get the most money for any vehicle you want to sell. Bring it to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get a big check today. Not tomorrow. Today. Tailgating or fall road trips, let's go. Don't miss the end of summer sale at All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com. Together, let's drive.
Hello, is Tina there?
Who's this?
Yeah, this is Vince from the hit reality show Wives Don't Tell. Tina applied for our show to confess that her husband won't go to the doctor to get his erectile dysfunction checked. She said she's ready for a guy that can bring the heat.
All right, what the hell is going on? You know you're talking to her husband right now? Tina!
Well, she wrote the application that her man's performance is questionable. She's basically married to a coffee table. She also said, we live within driving distance to Memphis Men's Clinic, but he's scared to get a blood test.
Oh my, she is done. She is so done.
Got you, Mike. His nephew Tommy ain't no reality show. It's a prank. Memphis Men's Clinic is the real deal, fellas. Local experts. Test results in minutes. Call 901-390-4151 or hit memphismensclinic.com before your lady books a new co-star. Memphis Men's Clinic. Making it happen.
Encore flavor, Corky's barbecue. We're cooking it up, down home way. Hickory smoke flavor like the good old days.
Hey y'all, Jimmy Stovall here with Corky's Barbecue. Catering is our specialty. Memphians have trusted Corky's to cater their events for 40 years because we make it easy for you and delicious for your guests. Whether it's 50 people or a crowd of thousands, our experienced team comes to your location, sets up, serves, and ensures everyone enjoys a Corky's all-you-can-eat barbecue buffet starting at only $7.99 per person. You can't beat it. With 40 years of experience, it's easy to see why customers choose Corky's time and time again for all of their catering needs. Visit Corky'sBBQ.com to book us for your next party.
Encore flavor, Corky's barbecue.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Landers Ford in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand.
It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
All right, Brett, well, my big number today is 110. This is a college football. It's really a college football and an NFL big number. 110. That's how many combined touchdowns Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick accounted for in their careers with the Eagles. For Deshaun Jackson, that included 35 receiving touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns in 8 years with the Eagles. Michael Vick, 57 passing touchdowns and 15 rushing touchdowns in his 5 years with the Eagles. That's 110 combined touchdowns for the two. They were teammates from 2009 to 2013. I bring this up because tonight both Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson will make their head coaching debuts. Michael Vick will do it for the Norfolk State Spartans as they host Towson. That game, 6 o'clock on ESPNU. Deshaun Jackson, his Delaware State Hornets, will play on the road at Delaware on ESPN Plus at 6 o'clock. And these two teams will meet in a conference game later in the season, October 30th, a Thursday night game. That game will be on ESPNU, and they'll also play it at Lincoln Financial. So they will play it where those two guys played with the Eagles. So that will be really, really fun for those two guys.
That will be.
And it'll be fun
That's
to
a good
watch them
number.
tonight.
And remember, for Michael Vick, that was after the mighty fall. That was after going to jail, being imprisoned, and his comeback, personally, financially, morally, team wise, it's really a remarkable story. I loved him as a player, but really respect how he handled himself after that big fall. My big number is 44. We talked about Ole Miss and Georgia State way back at 3:30. In 5 years at Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin's 44-18. That's the number. Big number is his number of wins. He will be the third winningest coach with a win Saturday. I think he's going to. Ever at Ole Miss, trailing only Johnny Vaught and Coach Billy Brewer. The 7-10 winning percentage is only second to Coach Vaught.
Wow, that's really
That's
good.
what he's done.
I mean, it's hard to believe, honestly. I mean, because when you talk about kind of in terms of legendary coaches, I mean that's hard to believe. But he's gotten the job done, and it's been fun to watch.
You know, you think back to that Egg Bowl and Elijah Moore and the incident that cost the. I don't know what would have happened in overtime, made the extra point or not. If it had been from the regular distance, I don't know all that, but I know what Lane Kiffin's done. And that night, Ole Miss was out of the football business after the long investigation and everything. How it, very sadly ended for Coach Freeze at Ole Miss. He had it going, and then for Matt Luke, who did a tremendous job, but it was in most difficult circumstances.
Yeah, and it is. He's done a phenomenal job. Lane Kiffin has since taken over, and a lot of
Made
people,
it fun.
He's made it fun, and a lot of people, during that press conference when he was announced as head coach, a lot of people didn't think it would work, because of the track record with Lane Kiffin, but he has made it work, and it's been fun to watch. Well, before we get to a break, let me remind you that the weekend is right around the corner. Perfect time to head down to Olive Branch and check out Frontier Western Store. Family owned and operated since 1967, Frontier Western is your one-stop shop for all the biggest brands in Western wear. Check out Frontier's world-famous boot showroom. Whether it's work boots or dress boots, Frontier has you covered for the entire family with plenty of in-stock proven classics like Ariat, Dam Post, and Durango, and that's just to name a few. But Frontier Western, they're also your one-stop shop for Carhartt in the Mid-South, but they've also got you covered with plenty of other brands when it comes to shirts, shorts, jeans, outerwear, whatever you're in the market for, they've got it. But if you need a new pair of jeans, well, Frontier Western is the place you got to go. They've got all the brands from Ariat all the way down to Wrangler, and you'll love how easy it is to find the perfect size and style for you. Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know you'll be getting the best deals. Head down to 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch and check out the entire selection. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sundays, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Get out there and check out Frontier Western Store. Well, let's get to a break, and when we return, we'll start our third and final hour, and we'll do it by talking Tigers with Greg Gaspin.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Mid-South, it's time to put a new Volkswagen in your driveway, and we got it covered at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike. 2025 Taos S, we got it now $258 a month. How about 2025 Jetta S? We got it $254 a month. And right now, 2025 Atlas Cross Sport SE, we got it $286 a month. Plus all 2025 Atlas Peak Editions, $5,000 off MSRP. That's right, $5,000 off all 2025 Atlas Peak Editions. So let Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike put a new Volkswagen in your driveway today. Hurry to Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Piker Shop, online at GossettVWMemphis.com, where we're charging forward and charging less every day. If you want it, we got it at Gossett Volkswagen. Taos SMO 58602, MSRP 27011, Jetta SMO 85183, MSRP 24150, Cross CSC 228 MSRP 39206. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Volkswagen Credit. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 8/31/25.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us. We can't wait to serve you.
Congratulations to Napa Cafe, celebrating 27 years of great food and service for you. Napa Cafe.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's starting a little bit heavier with that volume on 240 southbound here at South Parkway. All that traffic just trying to get out of downtown. Still see some rain south of Memphis coming down pretty good in certain sections of DeSoto County all the way down into Tate County. Could affect your drive down through there this afternoon on 55 south of Memphis. Be careful again, having to put up with all that rain. Weiber's Jewelry is your diamond engagement ring headquarters. Go by and see them at 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis with John Harden, weekdays from 11 to 1. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
We're back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we start our third and final hour. And we got to talk some Tigers. We talked a lot of college football today, but now we got to talk the Memphis Tigers, and we do it every single Thursday with Greg Gaston.
from the Tigers sideline, it's Tigers Talk with Memphis broadcasting legend Greg Gaston. Hear Greg weekday mornings on Sports 56 Mornings, along with Eli Savoy from 7 to 10 right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. On Twitter X at Greg_Gaston. Here's Greg with Bryant and Brett.
Greg Gaston joins us now to talk some Tigers. Make sure you listen to him every single morning with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli. Greg, good afternoon. It's game week, a Tigers team that takes on Chattanooga in just a couple days. How are you feeling as we get closer to kickoff time for the Tigers?
I'm fired up, guys. I know you guys are as well. It's been a long summer. I'm sitting here in my living room watching Boise State play South Florida. Had the coaches' meetings earlier today for the Tigers game against Chattanooga, so I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I bet you are, Greg. All the meetings, all the preparation, all the talking's over. It's time to play ball, and we're watching the South Florida game against Boise in South Florida. I like what I see so far with them. I've mentioned about the top of the American. I think the top is fine. The bottom is really dreadful, but I think it's more top to bottom than basketball is. Do you?
Oh, it's not even close, Brett.
Okay.
Not even close. You're going to have 5-6 really good teams that'll battle this year. I think you're going to see improvement with East Carolina. South Florida's on the rise. We know about Memphis. We know about Tulane and UTSA, Army, Navy. So, yeah, it's not even comparable to what's going on in basketball.
And I think a pulse at some places. We keep waiting for FAU to kind of be consistent.
Right.
You're not on any type of upset alert for your Terrapins, are you?
Yes, a little bit. I don't think they'll lose this particular game, but I was asked about Maryland the other day, and I said, look, they're going to be bad. They're going to win probably 4 or 5 games. I'm hoping. I want them to go to a bowl game because that's my school, but I also know that if they don't get the 6, and maybe even if they only scrape by with 6, I think they'll finally cut ties with Mike Loxley. That's what I'm waiting for. I hate to see or talk about anybody losing a job, but I'm sorry. I think they need a change, and I just don't think they'll be that good this year.
There was a great story in the Commercial Appeal earlier today by Jonah Dillon talking about what we've been talking about really all offseason, this running back room for the Tigers and kind of those injuries with Greg Duosier and Sutton Smith. And now on Saturday, it will be the first time we'll get to see both those guys in the backfield together, and I know a lot of people excited about it. How do you think they're going to use those two guys, and how do they kind of rotate those two guys and maybe even a couple more guys in that running back room? How do you think they rotate them throughout the season, but how do you think they rotate them in this first game against Chattanooga?
Well, you're going to see a lot of those guys, and hopefully you see a lot of those guys all season long. Remember last year Greg Duosier was hurt early, came on like gangbusters, had a great bowl game, and in that Frisco Bowl, that performance prompted schools to reach out to want to get him in the portal, but Memphis was able to retain him. Duosier, you can split him outside. You can do a lot of things with him. He's gained 15 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Sutton Smith is a guy that everybody associated with Memphis is rooting for. Went out last year, did not play the season because of the injury. He's been banged up, unfortunately, in his career. But they think if Sutton Smith can stay healthy, that he can be that next stud running back that Memphis has produced so many of over the last 10 years or so. They really are high on him. So you're going to see those guys even on the field at the same time. So get ready for that. So when you have those guys at full force with a mobile quarterback in Brendan Lewis, you're going to see a lot of different things offensively for Memphis in that RPO department, which you did not see last year. But you're also going to see a guy named Frank Pizon, and Pizon is the transfer from Middle Tennessee State. And I know they're really high on him, so they like him a lot. And then in short yardage situation, Makari Bodiford, who I like personally a lot, he will take over that role that was played so admirably by Brandon Thomas for all those years. He'll be the short yardage guy. So they really do like that running back room.
Greg, we have gotten spoiled. We've gotten so used to great quarterback play. We're just expecting it from Brendan Lewis. Are the coaches as confident as kind of the rest of us are about him?
They love him, Brett. Here's a guy who they say is in there at 4:45 a.m. watching tape every day, and this is a veteran quarterback. 4:45 a.m. That's
He
even
needs to
earlier than
call
I
and
get
get you up every morning for you to get to the station.
Exactly. So Coach Cramsey, the offensive coordinator, and Coach Silverfield was talking about this, that when they come in, he's already there, and he already has a bunch of questions for Coach Cramsey. So this guy is a student of the game. He's got a fiance, so he's older. He's a veteran. He's a leader. Yes, it's unfortunate that
Got his stuff together.
He's got his stuff together, Brett. The one knock on him is that they didn't win a lot of football games with him as the quarterback at Nevada. But that's not always all on the quarterback. A lot of times, a high percentage of it is on the quarterback, but it's not certainly all on the quarterback. And I don't know the situations over the years he was at Nevada, started at Colorado. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, he's not a great quarterback or not a great leader. I think he has a chance to really have this breakout year and what will be his final year of eligibility. But I think he could pick up the torch left by Seth Hennigan. This is not the same type of a quarterback. He can sling it. Don't get me wrong. He can sling it. He can sit back there with protection and fire it down the field. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but what he adds is that other dimension that they didn't have the last 4 years, and they're hoping that legs-arm combination and the intelligence and leadership of that quarterback will, like you said, they'll pick up where they left off at that position.
Were you surprised with the oars beside Arrington Maiden and A.J. Hill? I know some people were talking about that earlier in the week when the depth chart was released. Did you have anything on the backup quarterbacks?
No, not at all. I expected that. Look, Arrington Maiden was really good in the spring. A.J. Hill is the big prospect who is still learning. He's got a ways to go. They will use him for 4 games if they can, and then try to retain his red shirt. Now, that all depends on how things go with Lewis, but I would imagine that Maiden is the backup, at least in case something happens, knock on wood, injury-wise. But you're talking about a guy in A.J. Hill who's the future, so you'll see little bits and pieces of him, but really, if they have their druthers, you will not see him spoil the red shirt by having to play him a lot. Maiden is a very capable backup, but Brendan Lewis is the guy that they hope will be able to play 12 games and lead this team.
I know you'll remember this name. It was ORR, not OR, like the preference. But you remember Jimmy Orr with the Baltimore Colts, don't you, Greg?
Absolutely. Going way back, but I do, 100%.
And he was particularly slow for his size.
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of speed, but
No.
I don't know if the teams back then, it seemed like speed was not a major part of what we have seen the last 30, 40 years in the NFL. There were some guys that were blazers, but it just didn't seem like there was as many. I remember those teams with Mackey.
He's the only Orr I remember. Now there are Orrs all over the depth charts.
That's what you're getting at. All right. Try the video.
I'll be here all week.
That was a good one, Brett.
In fact, I've been here all week.
Well, that's true.
Brian, I was wondering where Brett was leading me with the Jimmy Orr reference.
No, I was kind of wondering the same, but it all came together, I guess, at the end of the day. Greg, are you surprised? No, last week we talked about some of those names that Ryan Silverfield mentioned in his press conference a week ago. And one of the guys he said is, hey, keep an eye on this guy, Jalen Bell from Tennessee State. He could become a factor for this team. Then we look up Monday, depth chart gets released, and he's the starting defensive end. Were you surprised to see him listed as a starter?
A little bit, because I didn't know a ton about him, but my gosh, they love the guy. And I could tell you, I'm not going to spoil anything that's said in confidentiality in our coaches' meetings, but my gosh, they are really high on Jalen Bell. He's not a tall guy. He's listed at 5'11", probably more like 5'10". He's 280, but he's a guy they feel can get some pressure on the opposing quarterback. They like Jalen Bell an awful lot. And Ryan Silverfield said this, I think, a week ago, or maybe even longer than a week ago. One of the pressers that he did, he started to name some guys, and it gives us more familiarity with some of these names. And he talked about Jalen Bell. He also talked about a guy named Chauncey Logan Jr., who's one of the cornerbacks, and he really loves him. This defense is, other than William Whitlow, This is a completely revamped defense. But my gosh, they feel that they have more depth at all the positions, including the secondary, which says an awful lot. And when you lose a Chandler Martin, who was the all-everything linebacker last year, they have replaced him with a lot of guys that they feel can do the job. They think, and I'm not saying they, I'm talking about, the head coach Ryan Silverfield. Jordan also talked about the situation with their linebackers, but he says they are 6 deep. I'm talking about Jordan Hankins, of course, the defensive coordinator. They're 6 deep at the linebacker position. So they feel really, really good about active linebackers that they brought in. So last year, Chandler Martin was kind of that quarterback. He was the one who had the dot on the helmet. What is it, a green dot or a blue dot they use?
Green dot,
green dot, right? Yeah, he was the green dot all year long. This year, you're going to see different guys in different situations with the green dot. You can only have one on the field at one time. But you're talking about guys in different situations who will come in or different drives when they go back on defense, where that green dot could move from player to player. Coach is very, very excited about some of the leaders that he has brought in for this defense. So I'm excited about that because I really did not know a lot about it and have learned an awful lot about them over the last week to 10 days. And obviously I've been out to practices and I've watched some of these guys, but to really listen to the coaches talk about their stories, I feel very good about what they have defensively.
Greg, I asked Coach Kiffin this question last year. I wish you would ask it of the Memphis people, and he was candid. He said, I hadn't thought about it, but it's not a bad idea. With all these analysts we have now in a college football building, I wonder if a strict scrutiny, listen back of all the communications, if somebody's doing a Monday scout on that of, maybe, hey, too much idle chit chat for the green dot guy. I think that should be analyzed by teams.
Well, it's a big part of it now, right? It's a new innovation that has just been implemented here in the last few years. So yeah, that's something certainly that I think will be looked at.
We need some forensics of that, I think.
Well, look, anything where
the language's got to be colorful on it too.
Yeah. Anything where and certainly you hope that nothing leaks out and opponents don't catch wind of anything else that's going on as far as communication. But communication has always been a major part of opponents trying to, especially when we talk about baseball and trying to see what's going on, what kind of signs are being flashed, what pitches are being called for. Football's the same type of deal. Now, you've seen those signs flash for years and years, but you've seen 3 or 4 dudes on the sideline, backup quarterbacks and other guys, exactly with the hat turned backwards, and there's 3 or 4 of them, and you're like, okay, well, who's live? You're not going to be able to, unless you're Connor Stallions. I don't know if you can pick that up, but as far as communications with the helmet and all that is concerned, you don't want to have like this secret frequency that they know about and they're able to listen.
Our guest, Greg Gaston, thank you so much. Tag Truck Sales. He's on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line as all our guests join us. And Greg, I got this question last Thursday. It was not at all in an aggressive manner at all. So I want to make sure that's clear. I don't know if I made that quite as clear early in the week when I referenced it one other time. But Rob Fisher and I did an event last week, and Rob asked me nicely. I mean, it was not aggressive at all. It was almost second nature. He said, "Is there a number this year attached with Ryan Silverfield?" And we know what that means. Is there a number he's got to get to in wins? And I probably was more aggressive in the taking offense at it than it was ever asked. I said, no, look what he's done. I went through all the record. There's no way Ryan Silverfield even plays into a number, is it, this year?
I don't think so. But, you have a new AD who's only been there for 1 full year. And Ed Scott, who I think has been absolutely terrific. And he's very transparent. He was on our show the other day, and I asked what do you expect? What's the expectations from this football team? And his expectations are to get to the championship game. And that's the goal of Ryan Silverfield. That's the goal of all those players. So, no, I think Ryan, this is his 10th year, by the way. His 6th year as head coach. His 10th year on the coaching staff. That's almost unheard of anymore. And so
how many people other than Coach Murphy and Murray Armstrong ever did that at the U of M?
Right. I know it's more movement now, and some people may wonder, well, why, if he's doing such a good job, why is he getting offers and all? I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but I know this: he loves this place. This is not BS. He loves this place. He loves what he's doing. He loves living in Memphis. He loves coaching up these guys. I'm around him all the time. I think he's a really good coach, but it would behoove him, yes, to get to the championship game. Again, I don't think any kind of job's in jeopardy. The guy has won 21 games over the last 2 years. Has had quite amount of success. So I think this is going to be another year that they could put up some good numbers. But it's a little bit of a mystery, Brett. I'll be honest, as are with a lot of teams around the country because of such movement in personnel. This is a team that basically changed its entire defense, and offensively it's going to look a lot different. So you got a lot of different players there as well. You got a new quarterback. So we won't know for a while. I think it's going to be a 2-3 week filling out process to see really where this team is. I don't expect them to lose any of those 3 games, but I think they can get tested certainly at Georgia State and tested absolutely at Troy. I don't expect much of a test on Saturday, with no disrespect to Chattanooga. But my point is, I think when you have a new team, it takes longer to figure it out. But get back to your question, is no, I don't think there is a number. But you have people out there that look at 11 wins and have criticized the guy. 11 wins. I remember when Memphis got 4 wins or 3 wins. Going to a bowl game was an impossibility.
11 over a couple of years.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even beating these power conference schools in the bowl games the last 2 years. They'll play a team. Their team didn't have all its players. No, that's not the case. They beat West Virginia fair and square. I was there. I watched it. I've watched them beat Iowa State. I think he's done a really, really good job. They got to make sure that they're not going to have anybody give it to them. They got to go out there and take it. Breaks may fall their way, they may not. The ball may bounce their way, it may not. But they got to go out there and really take advantage of this schedule, because this schedule is advantageous. All the teams that are expected to be right there battling Memphis for the top are all home games for Memphis, or Memphis doesn't play them whatsoever, like in the case of UTSA and Army. So I think it's right there. The brass ring is right there for the taking. They got to go out and grab it.
Greg, it's certainly not you. You're very loyal. You're very good to that program, and the professionalism it shows on their broadcasts and in the mornings with you and Eli. So I'm not talking about you. I can only assume all the people that might be wanting to attach a number to Ryan Silverfield might be frustrated, like he is, about conference championships. I can only assume and expect that same intensity for Penny Hardaway.
There are people that treat the two programs, and these are Tiger alums. These are people who went to Memphis and treat them like it's one or the other. Attack one coach, praise the other. Vice versa. Maybe there's some that couldn't care less about Coach Hardaway in basketball. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they pit these people against each other. There's no need to do that. Memphis has proven, especially last year, that you can have a lot of success with football and with men's basketball. There's not a lot of programs in the same position that Memphis is, unless you're talking about the elite power conference schools. And not all of them, but some at the top certainly are really, really special in both sports. Memphis has been now for a while. Yeah, they've had a lean year here and there in basketball. They've had a lean year or there in football, but going way back, they had a lot of lean years. Now it seems like there's stability in both, and it's not just average, maybe get to a bowl game every once in a while. Memphis has one of the longest bowl streaks in the country. They have one of the longest streaks of winning seasons in the country. So, yes, it's ridiculous the things I hear about. Oh, it's either pro Penny or pro Ryan Silverfield. You can root both on. There's nothing that says you have to do one or the other.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right with that. But it's going to be fun on Saturday to see what this Tiger team looks like. Hopefully, we talked about it yesterday. The big line that has been posted by Vegas, I believe 27.5 point favorite the Tigers are. So it should be a lot of fun. Hopefully, it is a big win for the Tigers. But, Greg, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll do it again next Thursday.
Yeah, and guys, I hope a lot of people get out there. The weather's going to be really nice. Support this team no matter who they're playing, and
have fun.
That makes a difference too. It makes a difference in what we've talked about for the last several years about moving into another conference. So be there and be proud and wear your blue and gray and then cheer on the Tigers. But thanks, guys, as always. Brett, have fun down in Oxford, and we'll talk again next week, right?
Thank you, Greg, so much. Thank you.
Greg Gaston joining us like he does every single Thursday when we talk Tigers.
I agree with Greg. Get out there Saturday and support this team.
Definitely do. And we're going to give some tickets away here in a second. But before we do that, I got to tell you, so we stay tuned because we've got tickets. But we talk Tigers every single Thursday with Greg Gaston. That's brought to you every week by Tag Truck Center and the Mercedes-Benz Van Center. Mercedes-Benz Van Center in Memphis has serious vans for serious work. 4430 American Way in Memphis, the Mid-South source for cargo, passenger, crew vans, and custom chassis. Need a van or a full fleet, new or used, they've got it with fleet solutions and custom upfits. Certified techs keep you moving with fast maintenance, repairs, and a large parts inventory. Mercedes-Benz Van Center is your Sprinter van headquarters. Give them a call, 901-237-9302 or sprintervans.com. Mercedes Vans Center in Memphis, part of the Tag Truck Center family, driven to keep you on the road. We appreciate them being a part of our Talking Tigers segment with Greg Gaston every week. But I mentioned it, we've got some tickets. If you want to go out there, see these new Tigers, support the Tiger football team, we'll do, how about second caller, 901-360-8255, a 4-pack of tickets and a parking pass. So you got everything covered, tickets and a parking spot. Second caller, it's 901-360-8255. You're getting 4 tickets to the Tiger game against Chattanooga. Landon will get you all hooked up with that, so definitely make sure you get in here and call. Second caller, you'll be getting tickets for that. But I got to remind you, our third and final hour brought to you each and every afternoon by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Jaguar Bluff City has been the premier Jaguar dealership for the greater Memphis area since 1984, and their talented team is ready to help you find your next perfect vehicle at unbeatable rates. Swing by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City today and check out the new 2025 models like the 2025 Range Rover Sport, the 2025 Range Rover Velar, and the 2025 Defender. Test drive the 2025 Range Rover Sport, where luxury meets performance. It's a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility, with options ranging from 360 horsepower up to 635. It's also available as a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with $7,500 federal tax credit when leased with approved credit. Take a look at the Range Rover Velar, powered by mild hybrid technology and enhanced with the latest well-being features and Floyd Connect entertainment system. The Range Rover Velar is the ultimate luxury compact crossover. Purchase yours today and get special 4.4% for 72 months financing available with approved credit. Don't forget about the Defender, available in multiple models to fit your needs. The Defender is built for the modern explorer, and Jaguar Bluff City is offering special interest rates for 60 and 72 months on various models. Give them a call, 877-259-6169. Go online to JaguarBluffCity.com. Get that next perfect vehicle, but head out there. Test drive these vehicles. 6335 Wilco, just off of Quince for Bluff City Jaguar. Well, we need to get to another break. When we return, we got to get to some W's and L's. We did the American earlier. Now we'll jump over to the SEC. Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. We will knock those 3 teams out next on Sports Time.
Not only can you listen to your favorite shows on Sports 56, you can also watch video of the shows live on Twitter and YouTube. Watch and listen every day at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Hey, everybody, if you're ready for an all-new Silverado, All-Star Chevy right here in Olive Branch has financing as low as 0% and thousands in savings. It's All-Star Chevy's end of summer sale. Thousands off MSRP on everything you're looking for. Tahoes, Suburbans, Traverses, more new Silverados than you'll find anywhere. Choose a new 2026 Silverado or Trailblazer and make no payments for 90 days of fall. And your good credit deserves it. Teachers, military, law enforcement, and all first responders get an extra $500 bonus. And every pre-owned or certified pre-owned Chevy is here for you to test drive today. This is the best week to get the most money for any vehicle you want to sell. Bring it to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get a big check today. Not tomorrow, today. Tailgating or fall road trips, let's go. Don't miss the end of summer sale at All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch or go to allstarautogroup.com. Together, let's drive.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
I passed by a new barbecue restaurant on the way in today that wasn't a Central Barbecue.
Now, why would you do that?
Exactly my point. In a city that already has plenty of Central Barbecue, the best barbecue in the universe, why would somebody think that we need a different barbecue restaurant?
Not only in Memphis, there's Central Barbecue in South Haven.
Right. Central Barbecue. Again, the bestest barbecue anywhere is already somewhere near anyone listening to this commercial. If somebody wants to open a restaurant, open a sushi place.
Or one of those Mongolian beef places.
Or a place that specializes in things made with bananas.
Not just barbecue.
Not in a city that already has Central Barbecue.
All 650 acquisition fee, 20 cents per excess mile. Must finance through KFA. K4 SC 177-230, MSRP 24,465. Telluride SG 676-854, MSRP 41,505. K5 S53 13320, MSRP 29,780. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. Dealer stock only. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 9/2/2025. Mid-South, I got him on the line. Jeff Allen. Hey, man, how's things looking over there at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah?
Things always look great when you got great deals, Randy.
Well, Jeff, tell the people what you got.
Get a new ride for $185 per month and a 2025 Kia K4 LXS 39 MPG Highway.
That's incredible. What else you got?
2025 Kia K5 GT line, $245 a month. Plus a 2025 Kia Telluride S front-wheel drive, $335 per month. And they all come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
All $49.99 due at signing, 24-month lease.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah. Online, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Heavier traffic volume in the last few minutes, right where you would expect. 240 east here at Poplar up to Walnut Grove. It's busy now trying to get out of Midtown. 240 south at South Parkway. Still got that rain south of Memphis. You're going to have to put up with that on 55. Once you get down in certain parts of DeSoto County, down into Tate County, again south of Memphis, we can still see a lot of rain. And Weimer's Jewelry wants you to know they are your diamond engagement ring headquarters. Go by and see them right now at Weimer's Jewelry out there on Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck when you're on time traffic.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you as we got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We got a couple of college football games already underway, but the one on ESPN, Boise State and South Florida, defensive showing so far by both these teams, with right now Boise State up 7-3 with about 12 minutes left in the first half. So both these defenses have looked really good to start the game.
And let's hand it to South Florida. The Boise State 7 they got was after going to South Florida, attempting a fourth down deep on their own end of the field, and they tried a quarterback sneak. And Bryant, the effective rate of this is not very high. Let's try a quarterback sneak, and nobody blocked.
Yeah, see, I missed that play, so I kind of was like looking around. I was like, how in the world did they get the ball back at that spot? Like, I thought they were going to go ahead and punt it. And
let's have 9 people do nothing.
Yeah, well, that's not how you work a QB sneak. And on the other side,
that was the anti tush push.
It really was. But on the other side of that, you had Boise State. They had to convert a 4th and 1 on their trip to the end zone.
Got it by the length of football.
Sure did. So this has been a fun game, really a defensive showing.
Hard hitting.
Teams. Oh yeah, no.
I mean, it has been physical.
I'm really impressed with USF's defense. I know we mentioned it already, but they've looked really good.
Brian, in a quarter and about 5 minutes. This is now that field condition. You couldn't tell anything. This has been more physical than Iowa State and Kansas State.
It really has. But you got to take that with a grain of salt, I guess, because that field was, it was in
sloppy
rough shape.
track.
Yeah, it really was. But we got to do some more W's and L's. We got to go back to the SEC.
Final ones, except for Ole Miss.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't even realize
We're through
that.
with the American, except
Wow.
for the Tigers.
That's right. Wow, I didn't realize that for the SEC, though. So Tennessee, Alabama,
Today
Georgia.
is Thursday, right?
Today is Thursday. Yes, we are.
It is indeed, yes.
Thursday at 5:33. Okay.
The day Micah Parsons was traded.
All
really?
good.
I'm sorry. It just had to. It just had to be a milestone.
That would stung.
The second hour. I mean, I thought. Honestly, Brett,
It's breaking news, man.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Brett, I don't know. Like, I was thinking about this during the break. This is the first jersey that I own that the player's been traded away. Like, I really don't know what to do with my Micah Parsons jersey. I actually have no idea. So this is my first time going
You just
through
represent. I do the same thing with all my Jonas jerseys.
Yeah, but that's different. Like,
It
that's
is.
So
It is different.
You weren't a fan of the team, and you're just like, oh, I got a Jonas jersey. You're
Fan of the
a
player.
fan of Jonas Valanciunas. So very different.
Get you that rookie Met pitcher from last night. He's 3-0.
I'm looking at it. Nolan McLean.
Yeah.
He's looking really good.
He's looking good.
The Major League Baseball and young pitchers, it's been fun this year.
It has been. All right, these three today, a lot of wins for these three.
Yeah, no, a lot of wins. Where do we want to start? Landon, you took over yesterday in saying where we were going to pick. Do you want to do the same today?
I guess so. Let's start in our state of Tennessee.
Okay.
I have Tennessee this year going 8-4, 4-4 in conference play. I have them beating Syracuse, beating ETSU, losing to Georgia, beating UAB, beating Mississippi State, winning over Arkansas, losing to Alabama. I have them beating Kentucky at Kentucky, losing to Oklahoma, have them beating New Mexico State, losing to Florida, and then beating Vanderbilt to end the year.
All right, for time's sake, Landon, we're exactly the same except for one game. They got them out there in Norman last year, and they get them in Knoxville this year. So I'm 9-3, 5-3. My three losses: home to Georgia, at Alabama on the third Saturday in October, and at Gainesville against Florida in November. Bryant?
Yeah, I'm 9-3 as well, but mine is a little bit different. I have a loss against Georgia, but then I have a win at Alabama for Tennessee, and then a loss at home against Oklahoma, and then they lose down at the Swamp in November, a road loss for them. So 9-3, 5-3 in conference, but I've been told this defense is going to be electric, and it feels like they're going to lead the way for this Tennessee team.
It was a defense, run the ball, tight end team last year. It's
was,
not to be again this year. He will get the offense back, scoring a lot. Where do y'all want to go next?
Landon?
Well,
Landon?
let's go to Georgia. Let's go to Georgia. I have
Not many
Georgia,
losses for me.
I only have one loss on their record. I have Georgia going 11-1 this year, 7-1 in conference play. Their only loss is an upset against Florida.
In the cocktail party. Florida hadn't won that one in a while. Bryant?
I have them 10-2, but 7-1 in conference play. My loss is the same loss in conference that you have, Landon. I have them losing against Florida. But I have the upset in the final game of the season, the rivalry game at Georgia Tech. I got the Yellow Jackets coming out on top.
Close
And
last year.
And your final record for Georgia is?
10-2.
And that's losing with Tech. Oh, to Tech. Okay. Wow.
That's
Okay.
right, yep.
All right. I'm 10-2, but 6-2 in the league. The great start: wins over Marshall, Austin Peay, Tennessee, home against Bama, home against Kentucky, and then losing 2 in a row in the middle at Auburn on October 11th, and at home to Ole Miss the following week. And what they did to Ole Miss 2 years ago really ramped up to Lane Kiffin and his staff. We're pretty good. We're not nearing that lead.
Yeah.
Well, they have ramped up, and I think that will be the full showcasing what they've done. Then went out over Florida, Mississippi State, Texas, Charlotte, and Georgia Tech. 10-2, 6-2 in the league, and in the college football playoff.
Wow. All right. So we are all very high on Georgia. I mean, who isn't very high on Georgia, I would say. All right, Landon.
As long as he's coached there, I will be.
Oh, yeah. No, he is. He has already set the precedent for that. All right, Landon, go ahead with Alabama.
Well, thanks for letting me choose where to go next.
that's
I'm just
right.
kidding. I had no other choice. I'm pretty big on Alabama this year. I think they come out with a chip on their shoulder. I have Alabama going 11-1, 7-1 in conference play, with their only loss coming at Georgia.
Wow.
Whew. And to everybody, and they're not that nervous and upset, even with the 4 losses last year. That would calm everybody down. I'm 10-2, 6-2 in the league. I got a loss at Georgia like you. I've got a loss at home against LSU in Tuscaloosa on November 8th.
That was the other one I was going back and forth with.
Yeah, I have Alabama 9-3 on the season, and I don't know what that would do. I mean, you're 9-3, you're right there, on the bubble for the playoffs.
They take nobody to a bowl game at 9-3.
Oh, not at all, not at all. And so, what will that fan base, what will those boosters be thinking if it's another season outside of the college football playoffs? But I have 3 straight wins start season, a loss at Georgia, then back-to-back wins against Vanderbilt and at Missouri, a loss against Tennessee, then a win at South Carolina, a loss against LSU, and then 3 straight wins to end the season. So that is a 9-3 season with losses at Georgia, home against Tennessee, and home against LSU.
My SEC championship game is Alabama beating Georgia.
Okay, I like that a lot. My championship game
That's not right. Georgia beating Bama. I'm sorry.
Okay, Georgia beating Bama. My championship game would be Georgia and Texas in the SEC championship game. I have Texas losing to Georgia in the regular season, but I have them beating Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Georgia and Bama could play 3 times easily. Yeah, the regular season, the championship game, and in the playoffs. They could.
Absolutely. Landon, your SEC championship?
So mine's difficult because I have a 3-way tie for first.
Oh,
I
have
nobody.
The league office doesn't know the tiebreaker.
I don't, because I have Alabama 11-1, 7-1. I have Georgia 11-1, 7-1, and I have Texas 11-1, 7-1.
All right, who wins the Georgia-Bama game in your scenario?
I'm taking Georgia there.
All right, well, they would have over that, and then it would be Georgia-Texas because Texas and Bama don't play.
Wow, I didn't even realize. I also have 3 teams that are 7-1. I'm just now realizing that, and with the wild card being LSU in there.
I have 4 10-2s, 4 6-2s, and my how I broke it is I know Ole Miss wouldn't win any scenario.
Well, I guess
just from the league office.
That's fair, but so what happens here? Because I forgot about LSU because mine it's awful with my records over by LSU.
This is when you turn to the quarter in your pocket and you toss it in the air.
That's what I'm saying, because LSU doesn't play either Georgia or Texas, so I don't know.
And it was close to happening last year.
It definitely could happen again this year with some of those teams at the top of the SEC.
You need to get ready for a new Silverado from All-Star. They have all the Silverados, all the great trucks down at Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. Cross into Mississippi on Highway 78. Take that first exit, Kraft Goodman Road, and you're there with financing as low as 0% and thousands in savings. It's All-Star Chevy's end of summer sale. Thousands off MSRP on everything that you can be looking for. Everything on that lot. Suburbans, Traverse, Tahoes, more new Silverados than you'll find anywhere. Go down and visit with Drew DePriest. Talk college football with him and his team. Choose a new 26 Silverado or Trailblazer. Make no payments for 90 days. That's well into fall. That's getting close to Thanksgiving. Your good credit deserves it. You'll get it at All-Star. Teachers, military, law enforcement, all first responders. Instant $500 bonus. Just let them know. Every pre-owned or certified pre-owned Chevy is there for you to test drive first thing tomorrow morning, all weekend long at All-Star Chevrolet. This is the best week to get the most money for any vehicle you want to sell. Bring it to All-Star. You'll get a big check back whether you bought it there or not. Tailgating or fall road trips, they start at All-Star. Let's go. Don't miss the end of summer sale at All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch. For more information, go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, USF's rolling right now. They forced another punt by Boise State. Now they have the ball, and they are in field goal range right now. So an opportunity for them to maybe take the lead or cut this lead to 1 if they can get some points on the board. But I'm telling you, Brett, so far, USF is looking really, really good against Boise State.
I can't stand the USF quarterback's throwing motion.
Oh, really? Oh,
I don't like that little hitch.
Yeah,
kind of like Cam Young at the top of his swing. He kind of wants to stop.
Yeah. Well, that's a good comparison. I thought I almost jinxed it for USF. They just had a fumble
big scramble
that they were able to recover. But yeah, I mean, Boise State looks good. Byron Brown, he was the big story a couple years ago, had a really good season. A lot of people thought he would leave because I believe he was only a sophomore at that time. A lot of people thought he would leave and go to the Power 4 ranks because of what he can do as a dual threat quarterback at that size, but he stays. Didn't have a great season last year. I believe battled a little bit of injuries, and now so far looking good against Boise State in Game 1. Now still very early.
Fun games tonight. And
yeah, no, it's a good slate. I mean, 17
we
games
need
on
an
Thursday.
afternoon game tomorrow. We need a 2:00 kick tomorrow.
Come on, Brett. You're
Somebody could carve that out,
man.
couldn't they?
I mean, if they've got USF doing it, there's somebody that could do a 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock start tomorrow afternoon. So I wish we could have something like that, because this has been fun to have this on in the afternoon. I'm sure a lot of people enjoying it as they count
Vandy
down.
and Charleston Southern needs to play tomorrow afternoon at 2:00.
That could be a good one. That could be a really good one. So yeah, I mean, hey, Nashville's always popping, so might as well give them an afternoon game to have something out there. So no, this has been a lot of fun to watch, and again, a lot of games tonight, and we'll get a good look at some of these teams in the American. USF already playing right now. East Carolina, they'll start at 6 o'clock against NC State. A lot of excitement about East Carolina. We'll get UAB later in the night at 7:30, hosting Alabama State. So will be fun for Tiger fans to get a look at some of these teams. You got an SEC team in Missouri kicking off the season tonight, so should be a lot of fun with 17 FBS games later tonight. But we need to go ahead and get to our final break, and when we return, we'll wrap everything up with Mo's Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Since 1948, in the alley, the Rendezvous. I'm with John Burgos. John, what's going on in the Rendezvous?
Brett, after 76 years, we've decided to expand our product line. Anyone who's tasted our ribs is familiar with our vinegar base. It's now available in a 32-ounce jar. It's so good to baste or marinate all meats. I even put a little bit on turnip greens. Something we've been using at the restaurant or at our house has been the Greek seasoning. My father was a cook, but my mother was a chef, and she was the one that put Greek seasoning on everything from a Mediterranean diet or a steak. My mom used it on soup, salad, veggies, fish, any meats. It's a great seasoning and a flavor enhancer. My brother Nick figured out salt and pepper was more than just McCormick's and Morton's. He's come up with a perfect blend we use to coat our shoulders and our brisket, and he used to make it for his friends as Christmas gifts, and they loved it. All these products are available at the Rendezvous or online for shipping as gifts and in many grocery stores. And if they're not in your favorite grocery store, ask your grocer to stock it.
A beloved family affair and still going strong since 1948, the Rendezvous.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
I think a lot about golf, and when I think golf, I think Miramichi. Did you know Miramichi Golf Course offers membership? It's a great way to play more golf for less out of pocket. Their memberships run for $300 a month plus tax, and that includes unlimited rounds and range balls, no extra cart fees, priority tee time booking, and discounts in the pro shop. Oh, by the way, there's no initiation fee. Miramichi green fees, they'll allow you to choose the right rate at the right time on the right day for your needs. If morning tee times are more important, you can book up to 14 days ahead of time to reserve your spot. If rate is more important to you, there are discounted evening rates available that you can choose from. Miramichi is now open on Mondays, and you'll find the lowest rate is on Thursday. Sometimes you just need to escape the hustle and bustle of life. Miramichi Golf Course provides just the right place to solve that need. The name Miramichi means place of happy retreat. When you need a quiet, peaceful round of golf, please make your way to Miramichi.
Marshall Steakhouse is a feast for the eyes as well as the body. Enjoy all American USDA prime steaks, aged 30 days or more, and other delicious meats and sides. Marshall Steakhouse in Holly Springs, named the #1 steakhouse in Mississippi by the Food Network, and named in the top 2 most legendary steakhouses in the South by Southern Living Magazine. Make reservations today and get free bread pudding by calling 662-252-2424 or online at marshallsteakhouse.com. Marshall Steakhouse in Holly Springs, a Southern treat.
Get travel ready in your new Mitsubishi from Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, car and driver's best. Buy for $16,425, gets 39 MPG. 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander, we Gossett. 31,105 or $399 per month. More head and leg room, plus longer warranty and lower price than Toyota RAV4. 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV plug-in hybrid. Combined range 420 miles, better warranty, more electric range on full charge than a Toyota RAV4. Outlander PHEV 39,115 or sign and drive for $396 a month. Plus peace of mind with 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
Outlander SU 32,343, MSRP 36,105, PHEV SC 00816, MSRP 42,615, Mirage RHO 378,839, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 895 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
NST's been taking down insurance giants for over 35 years. Big firm power with hometown heart? Yeah, they don't play. It's that combination that has helped them win billions for their clients. NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
Progressive knows RV owners like to travel at a nice, relaxing pace. Just like this commercial. They're not rushing to a departure gate at the airport because they depart from their driveway. And they can relax even more knowing they're protected by Progressive. Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Crunch Time is brought to you by Humdinger's Corporate Catering. Enjoy tacos made with crunchy slaw, grilled fish, and chicken, and the best taco sauce in town. Find out more, call Jenny Nash at 901-606-3172.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Say you stand by your man. Tell me something I don't understand. You said you love me, and that's a
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started.
Spanning the globe.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This game has always been called the world's greatest cocktail party. Do you know what is going to happen here tonight?
This is for all the biggest Crunch Time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
The ball game is over, and Memphis has its first win in 16 tries. Its first win ever against its fierce in-state rival Tennessee.
Goodbye!
It's obviously Crunch Time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
Well, Crunch Time and a new and improved Crunch Time intro today, but Crunch Time is brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Need catering? Moe's Taco Truck is always ready to cater for you. Just give Jenny Nash a call at 901-606-3172. Moe's.com is your go-to for all your taco crunch time emergencies. Well, Brett, what I learned today is what everyone else learned just about an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours ago, that Micah Parsons has been traded from the Dallas Cowboys to the Green Bay Packers. An absolute stunner. I had just gotten done with my not top story of the day talking about how they were open to exploring trades, but no way they're going to trade Micah Parsons.
No way.
He's going to be signed. We're going to move on. We're a big, happy family in Dallas, and that could not have been further from the truth, because not an hour later, they announced that they have traded Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. Just an absolute stunner of a decision.
I'm really overwhelmed by it. I just never thought it would get that to that point. And Jerry Jones, gosh, this is close to the last sentence being written for him, isn't it?
Man, it's this is going to be one that, depending on how Micah Parsons plays with the Packers, but this is one that could have a lasting legacy or a lasting effect on his legacy.
All right, talking season's over. This time last year, nobody had Indiana or Arizona State in the college football playoff. This year, I think there's even more parity. Epic season ahead.
Yeah, it feels like it. Well, what I could have done without today is that the Dallas Cowboys traded Micah Parsons in just an insane decision. If you ask me, now again, I was texting one of my buddies earlier about it that lives in Dallas, And he said that, he kind of liked the trade, what they were getting in return. He kind of was like, Mike is a diva, maybe you get rid of him. He goes, his last text goes, but I know we don't see eye to eye on this. And I responded and said, yes, I might be a little biased in this. Micah Parsons, one of my favorite players on the Dallas Cowboys team. And so I'm just shocked by this decision. I hope that this pans out. You're getting a defensive lineman. Now, look, defensive lineman has been a need for the Cowboys. They don't have a ton of depth there. You're getting a guy that's a good player, but he's about to turn 30. I think will be 30 this season when he's playing for the Cowboys, and you get two first-round picks the next 2 seasons. But if the Packers are going to be as good as we think they are, and now even better with Micah Parsons in there, what are those picks going to be? They're going to be late 20s draft picks. I mean, what do they really turn into? They'll be first-round players. Hopefully you can hit on them. But you're trading Micah Parsons, a guy that, hadn't turned into a ton of winning for the Cowboys, but has been a consistent bright spot for that Cowboys defense. So I'm just shocked by the trade today.
This feels like the opposite of the Herschel Walker trade engineered by Jimmy Johnson, but with Jerry Jones's approval, that set the Cowboys off and cooking and running with Jerry Jones owning the team. Golly, it's going to – I don't think history's going to be kind. Could have done without that small crowd at Busch Stadium today. Honestly, it could not have been more than 3,000 people on the property. And why would they be? But you go to the Cardinals ticket portal, and you see tickets still very expensively priced. Green seats starting at $280. I'm a diehard supply and demand market capitalist-oriented person, but when there's 3,000, you need to take that $280 ticket down to about $9.
Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, you look at those crowds, and it is honestly, it's crazy to see. It's almost laughable, the attendance in St. Louis, and then it's even more laughable when you go and you look at the prices of those tickets that they can't sell. So doesn't make really any sense.
I don't really like when this word gets used, and I can't believe I'm getting ready to do it. Well, I'm not going to do it. I was going to say it looked dystopian, and I hate that word.
Yeah, well, it doesn't look good. That's for sure. How about something else to just throw out there, kind of what we learned? Rick Barnes got a lifetime contract with Tennessee basketball. So how about that?
What's
Rick
he done
Barnes,
to get that?
Well, it's a good question, but
I mean, this isn't Philip Wilmer or Johnny Majors.
No, but it's Rick Barnes. Danny White announced Thursday a lifetime contract for the most accomplished leader in the history of Tennessee men's
Danny White
basketball.
just wrapped everything up with football and basketball this week, didn't he?
I don't got to do anything. We'll get both our coaches' contracts. One of them will be for the rest of his life, and we're good to go.
I like all three. I like Rick Barnes. I like Danny White. I like Josh Heupel. They hadn't won anything.
Well, that is fair. Very fair. But, hey, lifetime contract for Rick Barnes.
Yeah.
So good for him. Where are you beaming tonight? Plenty of places to beam.
Nebraska and Cincinnati in Kansas City. I was wrong early in the week about it being in Cincinnati. It's at Arrowhead and Big Red already taking over.
Oh, yeah.
Follow Clayton Collier tonight for good
definitely.
Nebraska stuff.
That's a really good point. Definitely about to keep an eye on his Twitter. How about beam me? Let's see Michael Vick's debut as a head coach for Norfolk State. I'll go to an FCS matchup against Towson. Will be fun. Will be really cool to see him on the sideline as a head coach.
Tonight, ECU at NC State. Can South Florida hang on in this game, playing well? And the Bo Prabula era begins at Mizzou.
Yeah, that's right. So a lot to watch. 17 FBS games tonight in college football. That will go into more games tomorrow night. We know the Avalanche on Saturday. So enjoy the action tonight, but that's all the time we have, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.